going on? You see the news? Maya Hawke got married. Congrats. She looks a little too young to get married. We'll mention that. You know Maya Hawke from Good Lord Bird. That's where everybody knows her from. Not Stranger Things. Good Lord Bird. And you know her parents, Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke. Yeah. And let's say this: she married below her weight. You know, if she was a boxer, she would have been married out of her weight class, or he married above his weight class. Let's just put it like that. But God bless them. You know, they're definitely wealthy. You know. There we go. That's something great. So congrats, amazing. What else? Oh, poison dart frogs in the news. For all you, would it be herpetologists? What's it when you study frogs? Study of frogs. Herpetology. Yeah. Oh wait. A specialized branch of herpetology, batrachology. Why don't they just call it frogology? Seems a little dumb, but whatever. So yeah, poison dart frog stuff in the news because of Russia. Yeah, poison dart frogs being used to silence critics in Russia. Allegedly, that's what the reports are saying. I believe the reports. F Russia. And then what else? Oh yeah, the Epstein saga is over. It's been ended by Pam Bondi. If you didn't hear, but we'll dive right into that. Don't worry. So we got a lot to cover. Okay, a lot to cover. Congrats, Maya Hawke. Who gets married on Valentine's Day? I'm sorry, but listen, Maya Hawke, you get married on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day. Does anybody else have a grievance with that? Let Valentine's Day be its own corporate way to make you buy flowers. Don't put the emphasis of a marriage anniversary on it. This is Bunk Bed Coffin, by the way. Bunk Bed Coffin, link in the description. Here's that frog. Imagine getting murked by that. God damn, man. There's got to be better ways to go. What does it do? Does it eat you? I don't know how that thing... Look at how big it is. It's bigger than my head. I don't know how these poison frog works. I'm assuming they spit poison at you and then consume you. But yeah, the reports happening about Navalny. Yeah. Turns out he didn't just get sick in that, what was it called? Oh, sorry. Thank you, Bunk Bed Coffin. Appreciate you playing some intro music for us. Go subscribe to Bunk Bed Coffin, link in the description. The new grunge. The grunge we've been waiting for. What was it called? It's some crazy name. Where was he being kept? Hold on. I'm looking at the article. What they're saying. What are they saying? While held in prison. What? Not. Is it Siberia? I feel like it's not Siberia, but maybe it was Siberia. I'm not sure. What's up? Serd Jan. Amigo from the other side of the world. What's up? You had some of those frogs back in the days? No, come on. What's up, Jess? Good to see everybody. Make sure you hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, join the Vanguard. We're pushing for good investigations into these deadly, deadly frog overdoses. Oh, there's a strawberry poison dart frog? Well, why do you have to name a poison dart frog some adorable name? You know what I mean? Like, don't name it. That's not the strawberry one, but, you know. If you don't want us to eat it, at this point, this is how dumb America is. If you don't want us to eat it, don't name it something delicious. I'm just kidding. The South doesn't eat strawberries. So this is absolutely news. Dart frogs in captivity don't produce this toxin. So Surdjan, because they're in captivity, they can't produce the cotton or the toxin, which I read on, hold on, Wikipedia. They get it from these dart frogs, obtain the poison through their diet. So they're eating beetles, ants, mites, and flies. Are any of those poisonous though? That's crazy. What is it, a mixture? Yo, wait a minute. Are you telling me they must be able to metabolize it differently? Because if you ate a beetle, ant, mite, and fly, you telling me we would secrete poison from our skin? I don't know how science works, but it's a magical, magical art. So yeah, that is the story about Navalny that's coming out. And Marco Rubio is saying, what is he saying? He called it troubling. I'm like, shut your and yap, studio. Secretary of State on Sunday adding, the U.S. is not disputing the report. They're not going to dispute it. They're not going to condemn it, but they're not going to dispute it. You know why? Because Donald Trump's good friends with Putin. He had him over. He had him in the car. They were laughing like little girls at a sleepover. So yeah, European allies' findings that Putin critic Alexei Navalny was with a rare toxin from poisoned dart frogs. That's crazy. And apparently somebody smuggled samples of Navalny's biological material out of the country to get these results. And the report that the UK, France, Germany, Sweden, and the Netherlands issued Saturday, which the Kremlin disputes. This is the other reason I wanted to bring this up. Is this not so reminiscent of America right now? America's whole fucking MO right now is like deny, deny, deny. And then point finger. Deny, 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 accuse somebody else. That's America's motto. And it is very, je ne sais, on par for what Russia does. And it's crazy because if you don't know, the 47-year-old pro-democracy activist Navalny was locked up for extremism. Sound familiar, anybody? Labeling Antifa an anti-government organization? Anybody? Does that sound a little America? Does that sound a little America? And yes, Navalny was in a Siberian penal colony. That's crazy. That's absolutely bananas. What's up, Lady Wiser? Voter ID is just a poll tax. Hopefully we get rid of it, and don't worry, when this regime falls, we'll never have another poll tax again. So you can fucking, with your no avatar name, can keep, spamming the chat with voter ID, but nobody wants a poll tax besides the racists. Shut the fuck up, okay? Definitely heard you say fart. Yeah, I was probably talking about Donald Trump. Oh, did I? You said I definitely heard you. Oh, I thought you said heard me. No, I'm sorry. Does that get you off? Is that why you've mentioned it like 3 times? Interesting, but Rubio, who is having dinner at the Orbans? Oh, no. He holds joint press conference with Viktor Orban. Do you watch any Jennifer Aniston movies? I'm not a big fan of Jennifer Aniston. I watched Friends, but that was Jennifer Aniston. Big Nick dude. Welcome, chat. Didn't hear Navalny's name in a while. His widow is a tough lady, though. Yeah, well, that's why I wanted to. I seen this in the news today, so we got to bring it up because this is, Navalny. No matter what your thoughts on him or what the media tries to sully as, him being whatever or tie him to Sorry, I gotta roll up my sweats. They're bugging me. Um, I would say anybody who can stand against Putin and make him so scared that Putin has to lock him in a Siberian penal colony and then allegedly poison him with a poison dart frog, I would say is a tough as nails person. You know, you're taking on one of the dictators that inspired our dictator. You know, he inspired Donald Trump. Do you guys remember when Donald Trump said this whole thing? Now listen, I'm gonna play this for you. Let's see if we have a picture of Donald Trump. There he is with a girl of an uncertain age. By the way, if you have subscribed and hit the notification bell, I shared in my community a video from the BBC, a documentary from the BBC from 2018, about 10 years ago, where it's called Donald Trump, Is He a Pest? Is he a pest? Great names of the documentary. Shout out BBC for not beating around the bush with that one. That was a clickbait title. I was like, ooh, let me watch this because I'm pretty sure he is. And it documents, you can go watch it in my community feed. And it documents Donald Trump's rise to perversion from the 80s, 90s, 2000s. And it is some damning stuff, you know, and that's why I got this screenshot from. Because clearly this is a 50-year-old man, not with his daughter's friends, but with a teen pageant that he owns, being perverted as fuck. Nowhere in time is, you know, this like an acceptable image. But people allow it. People allow it. Because they're complicit. Because they're, I don't know, mental problems? I don't know. But if you're wondering why this Russian story matters about the alleged dart frog poisoning, because if you don't know, Russia doesn't have a natural habitat for rainforest dart frogs, just in case you're knowing or you didn't know. But they certainly like to criminalize any dissenters. Which, as an American, again, like I said, it doesn't matter where you fall on Navaly. As an American, you should be in support of any kind of dissent around the world, you know? Just as like a fucking, you know, American quality that we should all have. You should be like, yeah, we kind of get the dissent. I might not agree with it, but we get the dissent. And we've lost that. We've lost our backbone. But here's Donald Trump back in who fucking knows when, 9 years ago. This was uploaded. 2016. That's right, 2016. Ready?
That a person in our government, Katie, would delete or get rid of 33,000 emails. That gives me a big problem. After she gets a subpoena, she gets subpoenaed, and she gets rid of 33,000 emails. That gives me a problem. Now, if Russia or China or any other country has those emails, I mean, to be honest with you, I'd love to see them. Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails.
For Epstein? Because there's more. It's like 3 million more documents. But I'll let him finish.
That are missing. I think you will probably be rewarded mightily by our press.
I wonder if in those emails he's including the tape of him blowing Bubba. But that's what you might or might not remember Donald Trump did in 2016. It was kind of unheard of because, you know, that's a U.S. president soliciting a foreign nation to interfere with an election. Well, you know, who am I? I'm just some guy on YouTube. And if you heard him in the beginning, he was complaining about missing 30,000 emails. Interesting. He thinks that's messed up. But, you know, Bondi's saying, Epstein files are done. All released, folks. And I'll prove this blatant lie in just a few minutes. But again, it's interesting. You know, interesting to hear Donald Trump complaining about emails missing. That's funny when him and his regime were breaking the law for many months and still are with, you know, keeping the Epstein files from us. So again, here's a hypocrite.
Person in our government, Katie, would delete or get rid of 33,000 emails.
33,000. Somebody was deleting, I don't know, tens of thousands of emails that have your name on it in the Epstein files. But go on.
That gives me a big problem.
That does. You know. This also sounds like somebody who doesn't think they can win an election, so they're like, hey, foreign interference, please. You know, this is the dude on the court falling on the ground, chasing the referee around because he can't play.
After she gets a subpoena,
Whoa, after a subpoena. Whoa.
subpoenaed.
I love how he pretends to like the law.
And she gets rid of 33,000 emails.
What would you say about somebody hiding 3 million emails from what's his name? Epstein? I forget.
Gives me a problem. Now, if Russia or China or any other country has those emails, I mean, to be honest with you, I'd love to see them. Russia.
Hey, to be honest with you, I'd love to see the rest of these too, you know? What are they redacting? I don't know.
Yeah, if you're listening, I hope you're listening. Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails
For Epstein?
that are missing.
Oh, okay.
I think you will probably be rewarded mightily by our press.
Wow. Trump can't be honest. No, he's got an allergy to it. What's up, Odin? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. What's up, V? G Money? They are the Trump Epstein files. But you know what? Hold on. Are there some people in here? All right, we got some heads in here. Are you ready to be blessed with one of the greatest things you may have not have heard yet? Are you ready for the new remix of, where is it? Have you guys heard the Dow Jones remix? Have you heard the Dow Jones remix? Hold on, I gotta pull it over here so I know where it is. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? I don't think you're ready. I'll let a few more people come in. Let's get a few more likes, okay? Give me a few more likes. Let's get to 20 or 23. We get to 23 likes, I'm gonna show you this Dow Jones remix. It's Pam Bondi, but we need to come up with like a Cardi B type name for Pam Bondi. We already came up with the group name, Destiny's Child Traffickers. So maybe this is by the group Destiny's Child Traffickers. Trump's name is mentioned more in the Epstein files than, and you could just add something like, then Harry Potter is in the Harry Potter series. Jesus is in the Bible. And these are all true. I love how people are like, he's mentioned more than the main character in that Hateful Twats book series. I was referencing Harry Potter, not the Bible. Anyways, Pammy B. Oh, I like Pammy B. Can I be a mod, please? Lawton Fox. This is my first time recognizing you. So no, not yet. One-eyed dollar. Is it a vegetata meme? This is not a meme. I'm going to play a song. So listen, hit the like button. Let's get 3 more because this is probably going to get me, again, probably demonetized. But it's worth it because I want to show you guys this stuff. You're subbed? Rad. I just watched. Don't talk much. Oh, then talk a little more. Talk a little more. 2 more likes, and I'm going to play this Pam Bondi, Dow Jones, Destiny's Child Trafficker first hit. This is going to be the song of the summer. I'm calling it. This is going to be the song of the summer. The truth is painful for those asleep, 100%. That's why they're asleep, you know. What you doing? Nothing. What you doing, Julie? You just hanging? You at work? Keep it on low. Tuck a headphone in and stay with us. I'm about to play the hot... Oh, we got it. All right, here's the hottest song of the summer. Let me throw up the artist here for you so you could just see. Hold on. Here we go. Here's the artist. You know her from her famous group with Christy Nome and Caroline Levitt. You know them as Destiny's Child Traffickers. And I don't... What is this? Yeah, I don't think this song has a name, but shout out Shmoyoho and Gregory Brothers.
The Dow right now is over 50 pounds. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7.
Yes.
The survivors.
Get it.
Because that's how it's down.
Oh shit.
How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you?
Have you heard that yet? Have you heard that yet? Who has heard that yet? We're making. Oh. Did you see her young pic? No, I didn't. Yo, this is a banger. This is what first you heard it. You heard it here, but the Dow. Yo, this is the song of the summer. I'm not kidding. If they don't even release the full track, I'm putting this on CD, and everywhere I go, I'm cranking this. This is the shit, especially because, hold on, let me check in what's the Dow at right now. Ooh, 49.5. Okay. Oh, the Dow's not at 50 thou. Here it is again. Oh my God. And I just want to give a big shout out to my brother for sending me this. Thank you. I love you. You made my day. All right, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Ready?
The Dow right now is over 50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow. Let me address the survivors. Because that's how is the Dow.
How many of
Yo, they zoom in on this guy at the end who's sitting behind Pam Bondi like. This is how we start the revolution, folks. With auto-tuned Pam Bondi. Somebody auto-tuned Trump. Somebody auto-tuned Epstein. I mean, this is the revolution right here. I know they said it would be televised. I'm pretty sure the revolution will be auto-tuned. Okay? Love it, Lady Wiser. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. Yeah. So I don't know if this is something I can play on live, but it was just too good. So if you do me a favor, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, because your support is much needed. Plus, we got all these trolls. These trolls don't like truth. Anytime you upset any of these little trolls, look. Reported, Bunny does. These fucking freaks, man, I'm telling you. These freaks, look, I'll show you another one who is trying to report me. This fucking dude. This a motherfucker look like this trying to report me. I'm like, go do your own channel. Go show your goddamn face on your own channel if you're gonna spew some fucking hatred, man. These motherfuckers, they subscribe so they can just false report all my shit. False report. So, to combat that, I need some real ones. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. You guys see this? Turn the files into trials. Yo, I'm telling you, art is the way out of this. Art is the only way, you know? Rhyme schemes, auto-tunes. I think this is how we defeat fascism, folks. This is in the year of our Lord 2026, and I'm pretty sure the way to defeat fascism is with auto-tune.
The Dow right now is over 50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow. Let me address the survivors. Because that's how is the Dow.
how many
Yo, the people that they film in that video that they're just zooming in on, where all these people are like, you know, like if Jim from The Office was in a horror movie, it is so funny. This is my favorite fucking video ever. It's a wonderful thing. They have their face of the profile pic. Yeah. Oh, morons. Just listen, we just can't tolerate people who don't know what fascism is. Okay? We are Antifa here. Proudly and forever Antifa. And the thing about Antifa is you can murk an Antifin, an anti-fascist, but you never murk the Antifa movement. That is my favorite song. That is the song of the summer. You heard it here first. I wish I could share shorts in my community, but YouTube won't let you do that, so I don't know how to share this. I can link it in the description after. I don't think I did, but this is just such a banger. I hate to spend so much time on, such radical artwork, but I feel like we got to hear it again.
The Dow right now is over 50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now.
This is at the clubs on the Jersey Shore all summer. Holy shit.
Need to know this, need to know how.
You know-
Is the Dow.
Let me address this virus because that's
How is the Dow?
This is so good.
How many of
Listen, we're gonna get the Pauly, what's his name? Pauly V? Pauly Shore? I don't know. No, Pauly Shore is an actual person. What's the dude from the Jersey Shore? We'll get his remix. I think Marshmello's gonna do a remix of this. I'd say, Daft Punk. Are they gonna reunite to do a remix of this? Shit. Yo, that is the new Pauly D. Okay, it is. It's not Pauly V, it's Pauly D. Where's Pauly D? He's probably a trumper. Wow, YouTube doesn't like the song. Hitler only has one ball. Oh my God. What's up, Dusty? Wait, Dusty, are you just showing up? I gotta play the song of the summer, okay? I gotta play this for Dusty. Dusty, did you miss it? You need to add a feature with Cardi B. Yo. Yeah, this is Bad Bunny is going to remix this and do it in Spanish. And have a feature with Cardi B on it. Is there anybody that can sing beautifully in Spanish that we could auto tune and remaster this? Dusty just got here. Okay, Dusty, just prepare yourself for one of the most amazing songs. This is the song of the summer 2026.
are you even?
The Dow right now is over 50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this, need to know how is the Dow.
let me address the survivors because that's
How is the Dow?
How many
The guy at the end is so funny. It just zooms past her shoulder to this guy, like, just looks like he's dead inside. Like he got murked during the testimony. So enjoy, Dusty. That was for you. What an iconic song. It's so good. It's so good. I had a Bristol Antifa sticker on my fridge for over 20 years. UK. Shout out UK. UK know what's up. Listen, everybody who, collaborated, it was an allied force in WW2 understands what fascism and anti-fascism is. I will not placate these straw man Tim Pool-esque false arguments where they're like, what is it? It's like, if you don't know, you have the internet. You're in my comments. You have the internet. Go look it up, moron. The rest of us know. We're not playing patty cakes with you. I'm not gonna get out my crayons and do a fucking explain it to me like I'm 5. So just mute those motherfuckers. I don't know Miss Pam Bondi was a songwriter, a lady of many talents, but besides professional liar. Oh my God, she's so good. So good in art form. I'm telling you. Like that could, and listen, she's been criticized after saying all the Epstein files have been released, which we know they're not, and I'll just prove it right now with Todd Blanche, her second in command, Todd Blanche, who you also know as Donald Trump's criminal attorney. Sorry about that. There we go. Who's that person who asked me earlier? I just burped, all right? I don't deny it. Deputy AG Todd Blanche says they haven't released them all. So this article from 19 hours ago is another gotcha, pants on fire. Look at her. Is her nose gone? Boop. A little Pinocchio.
And finally, anything that depicts or contain images of death, physical abuse, or injury, also not produced.
Oh, there you go. So there's Todd Blanche saying those things about what hasn't been produced in the Epstein files. And then I would just like to play some Todd Blanche being questioned about that.
You said this is the end of the Epstein, of your review of the Epstein files. So, just to clarify, is the public going to learn the identities of the men who abused the girls with the information that you're releasing? And if not, why not? And then I have a quick follow-up.
You just baked in an assumption into your question that I have never said and I don't know to be true. Is the public going to learn about men that abuse these girls? Like, what does that mean?
This is a smart dude, Todd Blanche, okay? He's a criminal lawyer for Donald Trump. He's the Attorney General, Secretary Attorney General. I know it says deputy, but, you know, most people in government are a secretary to someone. So he is her secretary. Hold my calls, bitch. I'm assuming she says that to him a lot. And Todd Blanche is here playing stupid on your tax dollar. Just so you know, an AG is the top cop. Attorney General is the top cop. They're in that position to serve as a protectorate of the people. What's that thing that cops have on their car? I know it's hollow and shallow words. It's like serve, protect PDF files, and so I don't. Who even know? Do they even put it on their cars anymore? Protect and serve? I don't think so. I think they were just like scratch that off. We're done with that. We're a military force now. But here's Todd pretending he doesn't get the question. And the question was simply, hey, you redacted a bunch of these co-conspirators' names. You think we'll ever find out those names? And Todd's like, I don't even get that, man. What are you trying to ask?
Learn about men that abuse these girls. Like, what does that mean?
Well, reporter, if I may take this one, that means, will you share the names of the people who have these heinous allegations instead of redacting them? I know this is way over your head, Todd. You know, you're not the AG. You're just second to the AG. So these questions are really, you know, out of your field after you, graduated law school. It was Donald Trump's professional criminal attorney. This is a hardball for you? Really?
I don't understand what that means.
Well, I mean,
I object. I know this isn't a court of law, but I object to someone playing that stupid on my dime. You know what I mean? Like, I just wholeheartedly object to that.
they're the men who abuse the young women.
I love how the guy just repeats himself and says it slower. You know, like it's like, yo, I like it. I like how he's treating Todd Blanche like the moron that dude's pretending to be.
Through Epstein's.
Look, we said in July, and it remains as true today as it was in July.
As it was in July. What the fuck is that accent, dude? This is when, like, he's putting on the whole full court lie press.
If we had information, we meaning the Department of Justice, about men who abused women.
Oh, hold on. Let's pause it right there. What did he say over here? What do they have videos of again?
CSAM, or child pornography, was obviously excluded. Anything that would jeopardize an active federal investigation. And finally, anything that depicts or contain images of death, physical abuse, or injury.
Okay. So he didn't release those videos, but he confirms that they have them. And then he says, what?
Justice. About men who abused women. We would prosecute them, right? We talked about the work that we're doing. That's why I said that. I said this earlier. There's this built-in assumption that somehow there's this hidden tranche of information of men that we know about that we're covering up or that we're choosing.
So again, do you see how once you start playing these clips back to back to back, you can prove easily that they're liars. Hold on, let me take that down. I don't want to see Pam Bondi's face. Wait, what happened? Fascism isn't so bad. I can read that sarcasm. Banning comedians. Yeah, it's not that bad, you know, for very sensitive, fragile, thin-skinned people who don't respect what America was birthed out of, 100%. Ted Cruz did say that, Mike. He did. He said exactly that. We need to stop attacking pedophiles. Hold on. Hold on, Mendo Dog. I didn't see this. Hold on. The fact that all this is coming out in their defense is the Dow is over 5,000 is insulting. They know there will be no long-term consequences. Well, can I just say, you're right. The Dow is over 5,000.
Are you even?
The Dow right now is over 50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how
Is the Dow?
Let me address the survivors. Because that's
How is the Dow?
How many?
That guy at the end kills me. So Mendo Dog, you're right. You're right. Caroline, yeah, Ted Cruz did say that. You might know him as Raphael Cruz from Canada, but now he goes by Ted and lives in Texas. Double tap, like, share, and subscribe. Oh, yeah. And share the video, folks. Share the video. Let's go through a little bit of meme stuff. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Ghislaine Maxwell, right? Convicted. Gets gardening time, sports therapy dogs, and spa products in prison. While migrant children in custody are sleeping on concrete floors without enough food or clean water or access to doctors. And I don't like that this John Collins dude tweets and does some stuff occasionally that, is whatever. But I don't like he says our priorities, because these are not my priorities. No, I just objected to how my tax dollars are being spent. When Todd Blanche was lying to our face, when Pam Bondi was singing about the Dow. I object to us wasting our money like that. These are not our priorities. This is the priorities of the tyrants in control and whoever's still supporting it. If you're supporting it this late in the game, you're just a hog snarfer. That's it. You're just looking for somebody to suffer so you can feel better about yourself. Do you guys see this? Homeland Security requesting Google, Reddit, Instagram, and Facebook to provide names, phone numbers, and other identifying information of users who criticize ICE. How is the debt? What's up, Staffelson? Yo, you don't have to throw a $1.99 super chat at me to get this one going again. I already told you this video ain't gonna be monetized, but I appreciate you supporting the channel with that super chat. I'm only supported by you guys, so it means the world to me. But let's find out, how is the Dow?
The Dow right now is over 50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow.
Let me address the survivors. Because that's
How is the Dow?
Yo, the dude at the end kills me. The dude it looked like his soul was sucked out of his blood. The Franklin files. Well, go to show we can have all the evidence, but it doesn't matter when they control the investigations. 100%. Have prisons went soft on journalists. Yeah. The Dow being up helps them. Why would we give a fuck? Exactly. Because this is distraction politics. It's political theater. It makes for a goddamn good auto-tune song.
Need to know how is the Dow.
let me address the survivors. Because that's
How is the Dow.
The dude at the end. The dude at the end. Oh my God. I agree. I'm not in your country, but I agree. Most Americans are not wanting tax spent on Maxwell getting catered services. I I don't want her getting services. I don't want these people represent me. I don't want these people on the main stage. I don't like them being pulled in to use our tax dollars to lie to us. I don't agree with any of the shit that's going on right now. We are an isolationist shithole country, becoming fourth world real quick. And we're led by this dude. I mean, just the fact. Oh, what's up, Charlie Kelly? Hold on. Thank you for the $10 super chat. The Dow is over 50,000. Yes, the rich are doing great. Well, did you notice that she tried to? And by the way, the Dow right now is at 49.5. So everybody suck it. Everybody suck it. You're poor again. You're poor again. Thank you for the super chat, Charlie. Love to see you, my Philly Connect. And thank you, because you guys support this channel. I ain't taking money from no Peter Thiel. I'm looking at you, Joe Rogan. We doing this all organic. And hit subscribe, hit the notification bell if you stand against bullies, if you hate tyranny. If you'd like to see our tax money spent on better things, besides a bunch of liars, thieves, and crooks and perverts, because that's what's going on right now. But did you notice when she was screaming about the Dow? It's not in here. Well, hold on. Let me just get the clip so we can hear how she ties it to you broke folks. Which I don't know if anybody else caught this. Hold on. What's the Pam? Not Bondi. The Dow. The Dow auto tune comes up right away. Here's that Raskin. Let me see that Raskin. Does this zoom up to her at the end? Oh, no. Where? I don't know why you're laughing.
Adobe Light.
Oh, shut up. I don't want to hear about renting software from you. I'm from an age where you used to just buy the software and own it, and now they want you to rent it. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
That's what we should be focused on. All the great work that this president has done and will continue. Border crossings for an the impeachment. I was 18. Have you apologized to what to do? All the American people need to know this. They are talking about Epstein today. This has been around since the Obama administration. This administration released over 3 million.
Broke the law, didn't release them all, and redacted Trump's name. But go ahead. Where is the Dow part? Come on. Where is the fucking Dow part? This is the best part. This is all ass kissing. That's all that is. Where's the Dow? Okay, here we go.
You sit here and you attack the president, and I am not going to have it. I'm not going to put up with it. You know, all they...
It's really surreal to hear her say you can't attack the president, which that's like an American thing. You can totally say the president sucks. That's the whole thing. Her whole thing was, don't make fun of this president, but blame Obama. So she's saying, don't make fun of my president, but anyone that's not my president, go ahead and, blame them. You see the hypocrisy? But it's surreal because, like, she don't work for the president. She works for the American people. Anyways.
Want to do. They are talking about Epstein today.
No.
And most transparent. None of them. Word. Why? The Dow is
Here we
over
go.
50,000 right now.
Oh,
The
she started laughing too. I've never seen this clip where she's close up. I've always seen the overhead angle. She's broke a smile. That's why she said, why are you guys laughing?
At almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans 401k.
You hear it? Americans 401k. So she's trying to make it like you should really care about your 401k, even though we know the stock market could drop tomorrow because it's all artificially inflated right now. We understand that, but you should really care about your retirement. Did anybody also think like Dr. Oz just told Americans to not retire? So technically that renders that 401k and any other bullshit into the stock market that the working class would seem to be invested in, it would render it null and void. Because if you're not retiring, who cares about a 401k? And Dr. Oz, I'm not going to pull up that clip, but he was like, if you lazy Americans would just keep working until you died, then the economy could have $3 trillion more, which by economy, he means rich people. Just so you know. Just so you know. Deny, deflect, project. Thank you, T. Cruz. That is exactly what they do. We're beyond, Dusty, we're beyond disturbing and distressing. This is blatant, blatant malicious negligence of a government, aka tyranny, you know? She's fighting a smile while talking about assault victims. These are the type of people you're dealing with. I know everybody's been sensitized and softened, but welcome to the real world. No, they've been working on desensitizing people. That's why they put boots on the ground, smash you up, murk your citizens, tell you you don't have rights, tell you stuff like Russia says, like if you're an extremist if you disagree with the government. We just talked about that. Navaly was found, his biology had poison dart frog in it. And what was he accused of? He was a dissenter. And Russia don't take too kindly to that. And Putin sent him to Siberia to go be in jail because he was an extremist, because he don't want an oligarchy, you know, and that's what these people are trying to desensitize you to. Did you see how Miss Bondi was really upset when Miss Crockett was speaking at her? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Battle of Athens, Tennessee. No, I don't. I'll never stop saying she was drunk during that hearing. Yeah.
And retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about.
Listen, I get where you're coming from with the she was drunk during this hearing, but I think she just has the mannerisms and the attitude of a of a liquored up bitch, you know? That girl you see at 2 a.m. Saturday morning who you're like, just catch a cab home. And she's like, no, you know what we should be focused on right now? And you're like, oh, God damn, where are her friends? I totally. I disagree, Rob. People are soft. They don't fight anymore. Yeah, well, I'm not disagreeing that people aren't soft, but I don't think they're soft in the aspect of you talking about they're sensitized. I think they're desensitized. I think they're soft in taking action, yet, and let me explain this correctly. So they're soft when it comes to actually getting out in the street or taking a stand or cutting off their comfort. That's where they're soft. You know, if it means don't order something from Amazon, it doesn't just show up the next day, then they're very soft and it's hard for them to do that. But I think they're desensitized and they're very callous when it comes to accepting this stuff going on around them, like this shit, you know, like her in the Epstein testimony screaming about, what was she yelling about again? Hold on, let me try to figure out. What was Pam Bondi saying we should all be paying attention to?
Down right now. It's over 50 down. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know.
What do they need to know?
How is the Dow?
Let me address the survivors because that's
How is the Dow?
I would watch that at the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. If you said it was going to be Bad Bunny or How is the Dow by Pam Bondi auto-tuned, I'm sorry. Call me what you want. I'm watching Pam Bondi auto-tuned. I'm sorry. That song is a banger. How is the Dow? Man. If you translate Bad Bunny's lyrics, hold on, I have a Bad Bunny translation right now. If you were watching the Super Bowl, didn't understand what he was saying, this is the translation.
Are you even?
The Dow right now. It's over 50 down. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about.
Oh my God, that almost made me cry. Art is the way. Thank you, Jacqueline. That's what I was saying. I said, listen, if there's one way the revolution's not only going to happen, but be a fucking summer hit, you know? If the revolution's going to be the song of the summer, it's happening like that. Like, we got to go back to the T-Pain auto-tune app where you could just auto-tune everything. Anybody can make a song out of auto-tune. And we just need to start auto-tuning all these people. Cash App Patel, I want him auto-tuned. Dan Vagina, I want him auto-tuned. I want Todd Blanche auto-tuned. I want to auto-tune all these bitches. And we get people because, like somebody was saying, you know, people are sensitive to taking any action. But once there's one thing Americans can't deny. You know, when there's a song that strikes their fancy, they can't help but get on the dance floor. All right? And we've seen it from the electric slide to the Macarena. We just need some kind of hit, some kind of magical hit that gets people into the streets. And maybe you're not old enough to remember the electric slide or the Macarena. I lived through both of them, okay? And people were doing it on Good Morning America. If that song even went by, driving by you, people would just start leaving their houses and doing the Macarena. It was almost the first worldwide pandemic, you know? The first pandemic was not that of a disease, but a disease of music. People could not refuse to not do these dances. And I'm telling you, if there is one way we can revolution, I think this is it. We just auto-tune these bitches into the summer hits.
The Dow right now is closer.
I mean, put this on TikTok. You don't think TikTok will create a dance to this?
50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow?
Let me address the survivors because that's
How is the Dow?
I love this guy at the end. This guy at the end, I don't even know who that is, but he just looks like death. Oh my God. Holy cowards is what America's become, 100%. Bro, South Park just got another 10 years of content. That's the truth. Well, the funniest thing is, I was watching, did you guys watch John Oliver? Let me see if I got a Christy Gnome thing. And then did you guys see the CEO of Chuck E. Cheese in the files? You guys see that? Where is it? Here we go. There she is. John Oliver showed all of the costumes she wears when she was governor of South Dakota. And I thought, yo, this is almost too parody for South Park. Like, she parodied herself so bad. By every commercial, she dressed as a dentist, as a home builder, as a CPA. I'm trying to think, what else did she dress as? I don't remember. But she had all these costumes and she did all these ads and she would just dress up as one of them every single time. Because she's clearly that pick-me girl, you know, that just wanted to be in Hollywood movies, but instead is an oppressive tyrant that they'll make movies about. And I was like, South Park can't even do anything with this. These bitches are they're too parody. They're too a mockery of humanity. Oh, here's some. Here, I wanted to play this for you because this is also Bondi in the in that I don't know if you could call her testifying in this congressional hearing where she yelled at us about the Dow. If you don't know, hold on. They gutted. They gutted any kind of regulation enforcement. So basically, the criminals in the White House were free to do whatever they wanted. And this dude called it out pretty well.
You're familiar with the public integrity section of the DOJ's criminal division. I think it's referred to as PIN. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know which presidential administration under which the PIN was first created?
I can tell you what administration that the weaponization was ended under.
Oh, God. This is what I mean. Like, this is just a clear waste of time. If you're coming to testify under oath and you're just going to blatantly refuse to answer questions like that, Like instead of saying yes, yada yada yada, or no, yada yada yada, she goes, "I'll tell you when the weaponization ended." Bitch, that wasn't the question. Now you're clearly not stupid, or you wouldn't be sitting up here. So stop playing like it. That's what they should be saying in Congress. This is one of my other issues with today's media and Congress. You have a president who can say stuff like, hold on, I'm not going to play the grab him by the thing. Don't worry. I'm not going to play that because even I'm disgusted by that. I won't play that, but I will play one that he makes fun of himself. And he like does it as he thinks he's cool.
I moved on her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there.
So there he's talking about moving on women without their consent. And he calls himself a bitch, which is fucking hilarious, you know. I don't know if you've ever been with a group of friends, guys or girls, and they were like, yo, I moved on that dude like a bitch, or I moved on that girl like a bitch. You'd be like, what are you talking about? Are you trying to fit in? Have you never socialized before? And then Trump did this.
Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
So that, because it comes from a dude in a suit with a fake hairdo and, you know, a lot of money from his dad, is somehow acceptable, right? But then you get into a situation like this, and she can make a mockery of things. A mockery. Let's listen to this from the beginning. He asks a question, and she just makes a mockery of it.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know which presidential administration under which the PIN was first created?
Under which the PIN was first created. Let's listen to what she does. Let's listen to Spin Tactics. Spin Cycle 101 by Bitch Blondie.
I can tell you what administration that the weaponization was ended under.
Wrong. I can't believe you're going to fail this because this is, you know, not a difficult one, but you failed. Wrong. You know, and this is where I wish je ne sais politics would get a little more fiery. A little more fiery. You know, where he'd be like, wrong, bitch. Not the question I asked. You know? Like, we need to start asserting that, because if you have a president who's going to make fun of handicapped people, who's going to brag about, you know, non-consensually moving on women like a bitch, then I say all rules are off. You know, language doesn't matter. If you're going to make a mockery of shit and redefine terms and not, you know, understand that America is Antifa, anti-fascists, that's the whole thing with them. We fought as Antifa in World War II. If you're going to redefine everything, then I say fucking rules are off and start slogging these hogs. You know? Throw the language back out of them. Call her a dumb bitch and say, that's not what I asked. I know. No, this is what you do. This is what you do. Whatever this guy, whoever he is, you go, now, Pam, I know you're not a dumb bitch. That's why I'm not calling you a dumb bitch. So answer the question I asked you. You know, that's what needs to happen in politics. So it gets people's attention, and these people sit up straight because she's slouching.
I'll reclaim my time. This wasn't a trick question.
You don't get to
Attorney
reclaim
General.
your time.
Oh, and then she interrupts him when he's trying to just reclaim his time. I'm sorry, but I'm not saying she's a bitch. I'm just saying she's acting like what a bitch acts like. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? You ever met somebody and, you know, you're like, you're not necessarily a bitch because I haven't known you for too long, but you were certainly acting like one. That's kind of what's going on right now.
Madam Attorney General,
Because I don't like
Mr. Chairman,
I
will
don't
you explain
answer
the way
the
this that
question the way
he
you like
does
it.
I don't answer the question the way you like it. That's what she said. I would have turned around and said, no, you didn't answer the question. I didn't ask you who stopped the weaponization, your theory of weaponization of PIN.
Claim this time.
Because I don't answer a question to your satisfaction.
No, because you didn't answer the question. This is what I mean. This is a waste of our tax money, a blatant liar, a manipulator, and a defender of the Epstein file class. You know, that's her role in this, to protect Donald Trump until he's sleeping comfortably under the fucking daisies.
Chairman, Madam Attorney General, the time belongs to the gentleman from Colorado.
The president under which PIN was created was Gerald Ford. It was created after Watergate. I'm not asking a question, Madam Attorney General. The administration under which it was created was Gerald Ford. When you first started as the Attorney General of the United States, there were 35 people working in that office. There are now 2 people working in that office because you have gutted it. How many people work for the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team in the Criminal Division today?
Can I answer the question about PIN?
I've asked you.
This is what I mean. At this point, whoever this dude is, you need to say, now, Pam, I would like to think we all don't think you're a dumb bitch, but you certainly are acting like one right now, because I already answered it. You couldn't. You decided to distract and go away from what I asked you, so I had to tell you Gerald Ford, and it's fine. Not many people know about Gerald Ford's accomplishments, but that was one of them after Nixon. So Pam, are you going to continue to make people think you might be a dumb bitch, or are you going to fucking get with the program? Like, that's an appropriate way to address a toddler who keeps fucking defending this shit, you know? Because if you're gonna act like that, you gotta get a little sterner with your language. That's what I would say. You know, if we're going to desensitize people to the Epstein files and protecting the billionaire class, the Epstein class, and no investigation, says the Secretary AG, and we're just not going to look into this, and there's not really enough to go into, but then we're going to accept this bullshit at the same time, you know, I say no. I say no. If they're going to try to desensitize us to all that stuff, then I say we resensitize people to Congress, and we say stuff like that. We go, listen, right now, somebody's acting like a dumb bitch, and we don't think you're a dumb bitch. Why would Donald Trump put a dumb bitch as AG, top cop? I don't think that. So stop acting like a dumb bitch, you know. And I think that's a perfectly fucking logical way to address somebody that's acting like a dumb bitch.
To your question, how many
You've
people
asked me
work?
a question, but you don't
How
want
many
the
people
answer.
work?
He gave you the answer, you dumb bitch. Now you just are a dumb bitch because you weren't listening. You weren't listening, and you know what? You failed this hearing. Can somebody fail a hearing? Because I think she just failed.
I'm not
For the
gonna answer your
National
questions the way you
Cryptocurrency
want.
Enforcement.
Oh, now she throws a. I'm not gonna answer. Why don't you tell him about the Dow? I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. What, Pam? Just don't answer any more questions. Tell us about the Dow.
The Dow right now is over 50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow?
Let me address the survivors because that's
How is the Dow?
How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted?
Get it.
How many
Get it, Pam.
perpetrators are
Get
you
it, Pam.
even?
The Dow right now is over 50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow?
All praise the High Lord Dow.
survivors because that's
How is the Dow?
Praise the High Lord Dow. All praise the Dow. Thank you. In the Father, Dow, Dowie Spirit. Amen. Has everybody praised the good Lord Dow today? It has not cracked 50,000. I hate to break it to you guys. I'll refresh. No, we're at 49.5. So, yeah. So what were we doing? We were talking about that lady that's acting like a dumb bitch.
Team. You won't answer how many.
I'll answer Penn.
You.
Penn will not be
You know what? I
weaponized.
actually, Mr. Chairman, are not trick questions.
See, this is what I refuse to fucking engage with. And I don't understand why Congress, no, I do, because they're well paid. They're there for theater. None of them work for us. They all have corporate donors from Citizens United that lets them do this shit perpetually without any consequences, without any expectations. These fucking Democrats and Republicans all sit in their ivory towers while they do this theater. Like, Mr. Chairman, I'm really trying to get across. You want to get across to her, say, Pam, here's a new question. Pam, do you think the AG should be a smart person? And you ask her that because she's the AG, so she'll go, yes. And then you go, then why is that person acting like a dumb bitch? You clip it, you put it on TikTok, you put the fucking glasses, world star, you know what I mean? Like, that is getting shit done. And humiliate these people, just like they're doing to fucking American citizens every day. Humiliate these people. Put them on fucking viral blast. But the fact that this dude's like turning around like, I'm not asking trick questions. We know you're not. We know. You don't have to say that. What you need to do is use a little force, you know? Get a little vulgar with them. Say, you don't want the president to move on you like a bitch, do you? Do you? Because he does. He will do that on women.
I moved on her like a bitch.
You do not want that to happen, Pam. You don't. And then Billy Bush will go,
Oh, my man.
thank you.
Watch me cook on this one.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I just can't believe that this is the fucking government we have. You know, like both sides. I'm kind of like both sides, man. You don't need to explain trick questions. You don't believe me? Watch.
Answer how many
I'll answer Penn.
you
Penn will not be
you know what?
weaponized.
Actually, Mr. Chairman, are not trick questions. They're not gotcha questions. They're actually basic questions about how the Department of Justice functions.
You know what? In all fairness, asking a question about Gerald Ford starting something, that's kind of like a gotcha, you know, because who the fuck even remembered Gerald was a president? You know, pretty sure it wasn't even elected. It was Nixon quit. So, you know, it's not like one of those memorable, like, ah, yeah, Ford, yeah. So yeah, I'll side with Blondie for a second, you know. Like nobody's busting out the Gerald Ford trivia, but then I have to, you know, disside with both of these waste of taxpayer money because, dude, don't turn around and call for the manager and be like, these aren't gotcha questions. We all know that. Attack. You know, go after her. Be like, do you think the AG should be a intelligent person? And when she says yes, go, then why are you acting like a dumb bitch? You know, like shit like that. We need to hire comedy writers. Again, if you were here earlier for the Dow, How's the Dow song, I'm pretty sure that's going to be the way through this fascist regime. It's going to be art and revolution mingled together in some kind of blob, I guess, because that's very American. Maybe it will be packaged in a slime. I don't know. But art is going to be the way through. And the only way to cut through this bullshit is to satire it, to make fun of it, to dunk on it. You know, I'll still never fucking forgive, what's her name, Michelle Obama, for being like, when they go hot, when they go low, we go high. I was like, that's not how you deal with bullies. If a bully's going low at you, you don't go, I am out of here. You call them on their shit and embarrass them worse. And guess what? They're done. They're done. They're bullies because they're fragile fucking psychopaths.
And the unwillingness of this Attorney General to answer them in good faith when a member of Congress asks how many people...
I love that you think anything happening in fucking Capitol Hill is of good faith. These people aren't here of good faith. They're here to lecture us about the... Wait, what are they going to lecture us about? Hold on.
The Dow right now is over 50 down. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow.
Let me address the survivors because that's
How is the Dow?
The guy at the end is so funny. Oh, Deer Park water. I don't even know what that is. But I wouldn't want to drink any water from a deer park. Deer be pooping all over the place. You might as well have giblets of corn in it. Anyways, oh man, the chat was paused. I'm so sorry, guys. Scam Blondie. I like that one. What's up, High Roller? Thank you. Thank you. Reese Witherspoon from Legally Blonde looks more professional than Pam Bondi. Wait, did somebody say down? Yeah, I'm telling you. That needs to be at every wedding. I want to hear that all summer long. I'm so glad they've released it now. Shimoyoho and Gregory Brothers on YouTube. They must have collabed on that. Auto-tuned the Pam Bondi hearing. So amazing. So amazing. And this, I mean, she wanted to make a mockery of us. We make a mockery of her. And I think, you know, eventually democracy crumbles. We have no more America. But we had some laughs along the way. Right, guys? We had some laughs along the way. Protect your kids because, you know, the government's not going to. They're redacting the names of the powerful men that are co-conspirators with Jeffrey Epstein. But everybody just, you know, you got to save yourself here. And at least we could share some laughs along the way.
Traders, are you even?
The Dow right now is over 50 down. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about.
Get it?
The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people
people need to know this, need to know how is the Dow?
Let me address the survivors because that's
How is the Dow?
How many of Epstein's co-conspirators
All right, now I see what you guys are doing. You're just trolling for it in the chat, and I'll fall for it every time. Drink cover should be mandatory at C conventions. I'm so glad they released the Dow song right now. Now, how is the Dow? It is a banger, isn't it, Cat? Isn't it, Cat? Hold on, because you're a cat. Let me show you. This is what I was dealing with earlier, okay? That's my shoulder, and that's Cat. Goddamn cats. Always on my shoulders. How is the Dow? By the way, let's just, Maya Hawke got married. If you don't know her parents, Ethan and Uma Thurman. I don't care about who was at the wedding, but I do want to know, and you know Maya Hawke from The Good Lord Bird, my favorite TV show. Her dad's in it, she's in it. But I would love to get Maya on the live stream and ask her if she played the hit of the summer.
The Dow right now is over 50,000. I don't know why you're laughing.
This is a jam you play at a wedding. I'm sorry. It looks like you owe him catnip and didn't pay up. Nah, this one's just got a mean face. She's very sweet though. I will be honest. She's very sweet. She does this to me. She stares at me with that face, and then she gently puts her paws on my chest and just climbs up to my shoulder and then sits there. And then that's it. And then I got to do the rest of the day with her clawing into my shoulder, being like, "Don't move too much. I'm perched." All right. What else do we got for new? Oh yeah. Don't forget. I don't understand how America is okay with this, because this is a picture from, I'm guessing, the 80s or 90s, where he's 50. Remember, this dude was like almost 50 in the 90s, because he's 80 right now. And that girl, I can't tell you her age, but from the looks of it, is not over 18. Here's him with a porn star. And even she looks young. And even he looks as old as he does now. And somehow America's like, I don't believe that I don't know. I don't think he has, I think he's been cleared of the Epstein files. Really? You think he's been cleared? The guy who has these allegations back to the 80s, when he knew Jeff best? If you can, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm Rob. We're against tyranny and bullies here. Okay? Very simple channel. Against tyranny, against bullies, and we play fucking hit songs.
That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this, need to know
How is the Dow?
let me address the survivors because that's
how is the Dow?
I love this dude at the end. Oh my god. But if you hit subscribe, you'll see in the community posts. In the community posts, I shared a BBC documentary from 2017 where that's where I got these screenshots, where they investigated. The title is Donald Trump, Is He a Pest? That's the title of it. I don't know about you, but to label a documentary that would say maybe there's some breadcrumbs in his past. Maybe he left a trail of breadcrumbs in his past about his behavior. And it's just incredible to me that these people and their followers are still pretending like he doesn't move like a bitch on women.
I moved on her like a bitch. I couldn't get there. I moved on her like a bitch.
But he couldn't get there. He could not get there, folks. And now,
Everything's computer.
yeah, even his girlfriends.
Do you think we're babies?
They do, Joe, especially you. We tax the rich, and no kid. Massachusetts put a 4% wealth tax on every income over $1 million. And guess what? None of the billionaires left. Our millionaire population grew by 39%, and no kid has to pay for school lunch. We eradicated student lunch debt, so it's an amazing job we did. Thank you for bringing that up. The Trump files contain Jeff, his best friend in them. What's up, little D? Good to see you. I'm not reading that. He left a trail, all right. Any Trump Black House music, my favorite comment of the day. Any Trump University graduates in the chat? Holy shit, I'm stealing that, and I gotta write that down because I don't want to forget that. Anybody, any Trump University alumni here? Any Trump University alum? Oh man. Oh, what's up? Pity and Kitty Committee, sending love. Oh, Pity and Kitty Committee's here. Let me pull up a cat. There we go. There we go, Pity and Kitty. There we go. Everybody welcome, except for tyrants, bullies, and fascists. By the way, if you still support this regime and you're just happening to overlook Donald's creep behavior over, I don't know, 60 years, I would assume since he was 20, how do you overlook this, you know? They're requesting information on people who criticize the government. Now, maybe you're stupid and you don't understand what the First Amendment gives you, but it prohibits the government from silencing, punishing, or censoring, especially criticism. Like, I would say criticism is the most protected thing that the First Amendment does. You can criticize the government. So, you know, to the law and order crowd, to those people, when you see stuff like this, because this is in the news, you know, what's that slippery slope thing? Once they do this, there's no undoing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, once it happens to one person, then it's allowed. And if one person allows it, we don't all stand up to it, then it's just, we don't have that freedom anymore. You don't have that right, or as Carlin called it, a privilege. Oh, you know what I forgot I wanted to play for you guys? Because I love having a good time. I love having a good time. I love watching comedy. I don't know about you. I know MAGA doesn't like watching comedy. I know MAGA doesn't like comedy. They hate it. You know, they don't like jokes. They don't like to have fun, even though they scream and yell about legalizing it.
Legalize comedy.
Right? Remember? Oh, comedy's not legal. You can't joke anymore, which is fucking hilarious in, you know, when you consider this. Here, let's put up a good picture while we play this. Because I think this is around the same time period of the jokes being made. So I'm going to play for you one of my favorite actors and comedians, Robin Williams, discussing Donald Trump.
Donald Trump is the Wizard of Oz. He is the guy. It's a man, he plays Monopoly with real fucking buildings. This is a scary man. And he owns all these beauty pageants, Miss America, Miss Universe. Isn't that a bit like Michael Vick owning a series of pet stores? It's a fucking catch and release program for him. This is a man who said, my daughter is hot. Even people in Arkansas went, that's fucking wrong.
See, I got to pause Robin here, because now with hindsight being 2020, miss you, Robin. Amazing, amazing soul. But his comedy couldn't even predict that people in Arkansas, if you missed it, let me just play it again. So he's making fun of that Donald Trump said his daughter was hot, and his joke is like, even people in Arkansas was like, no, that's wrong.
It's a fucking catch and release program for him. This is a man who said, my daughter is hot. Even people in Arkansas went, that's fucking wrong.
They didn't. Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Mississippi, they were all like, we could get behind you, sir. We feel similar about your thoughts on family. Is that what they were calling the conservative family? Is that what they thought family values were? You value your family like that? I'll never get it, because for people to think that, hold on, I got a meme for it. For people to think that You know, the people that call a black POTUS married 25 years to one wife with 2 children, no mistresses, affairs, or scandals, the Antichrist. But a white POTUS married thrice, 5 kids by 3 women, mistresses, affairs, and scandals, God's anointed, proves your religion is white supremacy. Because I can't understand that. You know, these people that come in here anointed by God, God bless Trump. How? He cheated on Melania, the first lady, with Stormy Daniels and paid her $100,000 plus to be quiet about it. Remember that in 2016? I know there's been a ton of scandals and the Epstein files kind of overshadow all of that, but it still just goes to show that their whole like conservative family values thing was a ruse. They voted for the dude who wanted to bang his daughter, and it was a joke back in the fucking 90s. This is Robin Williams. Robin Williams, do you remember him? Aladdin, Patch Adams, the Stand on My, Oh Captain, My Captain, Dead Poet Society, Good Will Hunting, With Honors. No, that was Joe Pesci, sorry. But you get what you get what I'm laying down. You get what I'm laying down. This is Robin Williams from old times, the old times, VHS times. This is him making fun of Trump. And these people are like, I like a guy who can say family values, not embody it, but just say it.
Donald Trump is the Wizard of Oz. He is the guy. It's a man, he plays Monopoly with real fucking buildings. This is a scary man. And he owns all these beauty pageants, Miss America, Miss Universe. Isn't that a bit like Michael Vick owning a series of pet stores? It's a fucking catch and release program for him. This is a man who said, my daughter is hot. Even people in Arkansas went, that's fucking wrong. That's just way out of place. And that fucking hair, my God. I believe the hair is the Donald. I believe that's it. I believe the body is a maintenance system for the hair. He goes home at night going, we're home. Hey, fuck it, let's get out of here now. I'll fuck her, let's do this.
Love Robin. Oh, you know, Robin has to leave, but Donald Trump stays. This world is cruel. This world is cruel. So yeah, no, that's what people were calling Obama. That's what people say about Obama. That's what that tweet is. And check out Bishop Talbot. He does a radio show. He does a few different things. He's fighting white supremacy every single day. It's amazing. It's amazing thing he's doing. Mork and Mindy, Popeye. I respect that. I respect those people. Shouting out the old ones. That's right. Stapleton. He bragged he could inspect them so that he would even stick his fingers in their mouths and chat. Oh, yep. Okay, got it. Miss Doubtfire. Oh, I forgot that. That's a great one. OMG, what's up? Jumanji. Okay, let's take a quick poll. What's the better Jumanji? Robin Williams or The Rock and Kevin Hart? Now, don't say every time you see Kevin Hart, you think of the Diddy parties, okay? Don't. Just which is the better Jumanji? That's not creepy. Older men like younger women. No, that is creepy. That is creepy. I think we could collectively, I don't know, then you have a different, I would say that says more about your perspective. You're saying that's not creepy, and you're probably an older man who, you know, isn't married or desperate to seek some young female. Because I'll tell you, when I was in high school and somebody made this joke, they said Good Will Hunting. I said that, Zen. I've said this before, right? When I was in high school and somebody made this joke, they said, think about growing up in the 90s and the 2000s as a 12-year-old or a 12-year-old guy, and you got to compete with these billionaire creeps for your women. And as funny as a joke that is, I lived that, you know? I remember growing up and there would be college dudes to come back and take high school girls to a high school dance. And I thought, why did you go to college? Most of these dudes hated me. Let's be very clear. But I always thought, like, if you're so much older, what are you doing dating a young, you know what I mean? Like, I can't wrap my mind around it. I don't know. Any guys, you know, that grew up in the 90s talk to a 20-year-old right now? You know, you're like, we're from different fucking planets. You know, like that's I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. I guess it's the not a predator in me. I guess that's the only thing, you know. This dude has the predator fucking take, you know, where he's like young, vulnerable, dumb. I could take advantage. And for me, I'm like, man, I just, you know, I want to teach these kids wisdom and embolden them to know their rights. You know, like that's my first thought. It's not fucking what you're saying, man. Um, Yeah, that's a good reaction. Get a life, dude. So I think I struck a nerve with you. I think we'd figured out your thing. You know, just why don't you share how old you are? It doesn't matter. Just share how old you are. And I think my point will be made because there are men that are predators. This is not like a, you know, I feel like Jordan Peterson. There are some men that are like lobster predators and they flap themselves up and get really red when they see a young, dumb fucking, you know, girl. And that's the truth, homie. Look at Bill Belichick. Remember the scandal with Bill Belichick? He's dating a girl younger than his kids, you know? And everybody collectively like was like, ooh, creepy, yuck. You know, I don't think America was like, hurrah, but there were some pervert dudes saying that. You're probably one of them. And that's cool, man. That's cool. You're one of them. And I say that's cool because Bill clearly, even though a creep at 60, 70, I don't know how old he is. Let's just find out. Hold on. Let's just so we know. Bill Belichick, girlfriend. That's the first thing that comes up. Yo, what are their ages? I just need ages. Bill is 73 years old. This is so This is the most disgusting thing. This is what this dude in the comments is defending. He's like, and young ladies like older men. If you think Jordan Hudson at 24 years old is like, yo, I got to get me a taste of that 73-year-old, you're fucking dumb, okay? She sees all the money, never have to work again, you know, just have to hug him sometimes. Like, you got to be kidding. If you're 73, you were born in 52. So this dude was like, you know, he was coming up with, bro, he was seeing Zeppelin live, man, you know, and not this like Robert Plant performing, uh, you know, with his new band or whatever at 100 years old. Like, and she is 24. So she was like, she don't even remember 9/11. You know, she was 6 months old. These people have nothing in common. Nothing. Besides, he has money and she loves money. But here's the thing with what I was talking about with Bill is like, it's at least legal. So if you want to convince yourself as an old man that like girls really like me and don't see that like they think you're sitting on a pile of gold and you're using that to your advantage, like no chick. Oh my God. I can't believe I'm explaining this right now. Like, what the fuck is the world come to that there's one guy who's like, no, dude, you're an idiot. All 50-year-olds love 15-year-olds. It's like, no. No, you don't speak for men. You don't speak for men. Shut your fucking mouth. You don't speak for men. You speak for the creeps. You speak for the creeps in power, and you speak for the people you probably voted for because you were like, I see this and I think that's my kind of dude. And I see this and think fucking, does she need to blink if she needs help? God damn. Old men know when women want their money. If they don't mind, the trade-off is all good. Listen, there's websites for it. There's dating apps for it. I'm not saying it's not all good as long as it's legal. What I'm saying is that's not how the world operates. Like somebody was trying to defend. Somebody's in here being like, that's just how it is, man. Old men love young women. And I'm like, it's just not true. I need to dispel that fucking rumor that guy thinks because in his reality, that's the truth. I don't know what made his reality define that as the golden rule, but it's just not true. And my whole point with bringing up Bill Belichick was that when he announced, I don't know how, he probably got found out. When people found out Bill at 73-year-old was dating a 24-year-old, people weren't like, yeah, makes sense. That's just how the world works. That wasn't the reaction. You know what I mean? it's still a fucking joke. Like, I've still heard podcasters joke that that's gross. He's dating someone younger than his, you know what I mean? Like, it's still made into a joke because it's so abnormal. So the fact that somebody's like, nah, man, it's just, you know, how the world works, in defending this, mind you, this is how we got here. Because I was saying, this freak, this 50-year-old freak talking to her, you would think like, oh, what did his, you know, is he meeting his daughter's friend for the first time? No, he owned pageants where girls this young were being, I don't know what. You can read all the allegations. You can watch the video I shared in my community posts that BBC made. Is Donald Trump a sex pest? That's what the documentary is called. And that's where I got this photo from. And it's not one allegation. It's not two. It's not three. It's not four. You know, people like didn't need many allegations with certain things, whether it be like Pizzagate or the Clinton fucking email. Like, there's just so many things you could look at through history where it's like they didn't need a whiff of a couple of allegations. But here we have decades and decades of allegations, and these people are still like, no, pretty normal. I don't know what you're talking about. You know what we should be focusing on? Do you? I know some of you know. I know some of you know what you'd be focusing on.
The Dow right now is over 50.
Don't look at this.
I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about.
Not this.
The Dow
Don't look at this.
As if he had almost said
No.
The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow.
Let me address the survivors because that's
How is the Dow.
Wait a minute. Is her name Dow? I don't know. Oh my God, this stuck in my head for 2 days. OMG, you've heard it before. Some people haven't heard it, so we need to. This is the song of the summer, man. This is the song of the summer. That's the whole point, little D. I'm giving you an earworm. And listen, you're down in Dirty Jersey, so I need you to be pumping this when you hit the shore. I need you to let Pauly D know he needs to remix this. We got to get Marshmello and Halsey on this. Maybe Chapel Roan can do a version of it. I say everybody take. I would like to see Rage Against the Machine cover this. You know, why is Maya Hawke in the title? Oh, Maya Hawke got married. She got married. You know Maya Hawke. She played John Brown's daughter in The Good Lord Bird. She got married in New York. And what I was asking people, this was at the way beginning of the live stream, sorry. But I was saying, do you know what day she got married? Valentine's Day. Is that not the stupidest thing? Like, we look up to celebrities like they're something. I don't know, because I don't. But, you know, some people think they're shocked when they read People magazine. And they're like, oh my God, they wear shoes? They're just like us. This is nuts. I didn't think so. You know, so I don't know why people look up to them, especially when you hear stories like, congrats, they got married on Valentine's Day. Why would you go and sully Valentine's Day like that? You know, that's a very manufactured corporate holiday where you have to buy people flowers. Now you're going to up Valentine's Day into a wedding anniversary? Really? Really? I would expect more out of parents like Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke. You know, I would expect a little more. Ethan, it's time to take your daughter aside. And by the way, ooh, exciting. I got scared for a second seeing her name. I don't know what I'd do if the Hawks were in the files. Janis Joplin was, to muddy the waters. But anyways, no, I want to talk because I love the Hawks. I love Ethan. I love Maya. I think they're superb actors. I think they're kind of out there people, which I really appreciate. They're weirdos, as people have called me. For brain dead humans to have easy memory of a wedding date. All right, little D, that's a convincing argument. I will accept that and I will note that. That is actually pretty clever, unless you're so brain dead that you would forget when Valentine's Day was, which I don't think you can because corporations make it a point to remind you to buy some candy or something. I don't know. I don't have TV, but 161 Americans did not vote for Trump. I believe that's more than did. Thank you, Steffelson. Dusty, I wouldn't even acknowledge him. Just let him keep pumping up the chat. He wants to talk about homeless people in Massachusetts, and why don't we talk about how we have 25 empty homes for every homeless person in this country, and what we should do with it is take those Airbnbs from these wealthy corporate fucking interest landowners and give them to people. But that's not his solution. He's a troll, so I would just ignore him. 60% of Americans consider Trump's first year back to have been a failure. That's such a depressing number. Like 60% thought the Epstein, hold on. 60% thought, you know, nothing to see here, Blondie. We're asking all the big corporations to give us your information because you criticize the government. I'm not gonna answer any questions. I've been a pervert since the 80s, and maybe it's 60% because of what? Because of what? Does anybody? What was up the other day?
The Dow right now is over 50,000. I don't know why you're laughing.
I don't know why you're laughing.
That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this.
How's that Dow?
It's the Dow.
Let me address the survivors because that's
How is the Dow?
The guy at the end kills me. Wait, can you explain the Airbnb thing? Do you think it's better to just travel to a hotel? Well, so here, I'm old enough to explain this to you. There used to only be hotels. And now in popular destinations like Cape Cod and different locations around New England, they're filled with Airbnbs. So rich people have come in, bought up, and they're rich people, very rich people, because you can't just buy a home on Cape Cod if you're not very rich. And they hold them as Airbnbs, or what they'll do is they'll rent them during winter months, and then you got to be the fuck out, which who would live somewhere for winter months? Again, I just need you to use common sense and apply it to the bigger context of this, because this is no joke. I live here, I've seen it. And during the summer months, it's all B&B rentals. So what that does, if you can imagine that Cape Cod is a small community, you know, not many big cities, it's all kind of locals, and it has driven the locals out, which makes the economy suffer. So I would say, yeah, hotels, especially if we're in a housing shortage, which we're not. We have enough houses, they're just being taken off the market, so only rich people can afford it as vacation spots. Again, this is why, you know, talking to people about homelessness that don't equate this shit with it, I don't know what to say. It's like when they're like, we just need more permits to build more. And I'm like, do you know how many empty luxury apartments are fucking littered everywhere? Nobody wants a luxury apartment. People voted last year on egg. America is such a fucking shithole. We had a whole election on please lower egg price, sir. I don't know what to tell you. That's just what happened. I lived through it. They were like, can you do something about groceries? Egg. And he's like, I promise I'll do the groceries, or whatever the fuck he said. And then he got in office. He was like, I'm not doing the groceries. I'm doing the tariffs. Get ready to pay more, bitches. So if you can't equate like the bigger context of all that, then thank you, Steffelson, for the 99-cent super chat. I'm supported by viewers like you. If you want to do the free thing, subscribe is free. Notification bell's free. I'm here every single weekday. And if you want to support the channel, if you want to support people who, like me, who obviously, I love when people are like, oh, he's a grifter funded by Soros. I'm like, you think this is grifter clothes? You know who's a grifter? Go fucking put on Ben Shapiro's show. That dude has a well-lit and doesn't even use the right lighting fucking studio put on by billionaires where he's spewing stuff where he's constantly proven wrong, and somehow he's never like, oh, I'm freezing, I have to wear a sweatshirt and a hat because it's so cold in here we can't afford heat. But yeah, I'm the grifter. So just so you know, this isn't an easy slog to climb up the YouTube ladder of like, hey guys, maybe we should tax Mr. Beast and hopefully he'll leave the country and stop exploiting people's vulnerabilities here and instead maybe use his platform for good for once. Jesus Christ. It's just not a popular niche. So I'm supported by people like you, and I appreciate you guys. What if we give out housing credits to cities that house homeless? Kind of like carbon credit. I think they got rid of the carbon credits. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Um, well, are you mean housing credits as in Section 8? Because that's kind of, and that's like a big taboo in America. Americans are like, no, how dare you let people live in homes that, are obviously struggling to live in a home. Again, I don't understand how this nation is like, we're a Christian nation. And they're like, but don't you feed those hungry people or give the sick people health care or let those people that don't have homes get into a home. It's just a hypocrite. Democracy is hypocrisy, right? Who said that? Malcolm X? CO2 is now baby formula. They said that carbon is not poison. No, come on. I believe it, but I didn't hear that. There is a voucher system in Chicago. It has its uses. Listen, I'm all for everything, but here's I was homeless at 16. Section 8 got me off the streets. Come on now. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's an amazing program, but more importantly, if you just look at history, hold on, let me take this pervert off the screen for a second. Get this book, Rutger Bregman. You know him from not being aired on Tucker Carlson because he called him a millionaire mouthpiece for billionaires, because Tucker is just a shit talker, heir to heiress. He's an heiress. Jessica Waters is an heiress. But this book, Utopia for Realists, I've read it. I've read parts of this book to you guys if you've been here for a while. Alma can testify to that. But this book goes through different points in America where we implemented UBI or we implemented universal housing. And I forget, page 70 or something, Rucker references Utah. Utah was having a massive homeless problem, right? And what they did is they calculated the costs that it was costing the public for homelessness, whether it be police or, courts or just whatever, that the taxpayers were using their funds. And it came out to about $13,000 per homeless person. And remember, a lot of these people were like vets and stuff like that. So before you just start shitting on homeless people, because we know Americans love to do that. The Christian Americans love to shit on people without homes. Even though Jesus encountered homeless people and gave you like a direct way to interact with them, you fucking hypocrites really fucking bug me. But they figured out it was like $13,000. And they said, what if we give the homeless people counseling and a place to live, no strings attached? What would that cost? And it turns out it would cost $11,000 per person. So it saved the taxpayer money, got the homeless people off the street, and solved a lot of the problems that our society had. And it's documented here that it happened. So we have the answers. So my whole thing is, I don't know how a voucher system will work. I don't know what you're imagining, if it's like Section 8 or something. But I just say we just give people homes because we're America, And then we could here's the great thing for all you thin-skinned egomaniacs. You could brag about it. I know you usually like to brag about people suffering, but imagine, I just want you to try flipping the script for a second. Imagine being like, hey, there's no homeless people here. No kids going hungry on our watch. I want you to practice out loud. Go into the mirror and say that. No homeless people in America anymore. And not because you put them all in a prison camp or a gulag or something, because we gave them homes. Imagine how good that would feel. We would be the beacon of the world. Oh no, and then here come the immigrants, right? That's going to terrify you. We give them homes too. Isn't that crazy? Wouldn't that be just nuts if we were just like, we're going to house people because we want to be a Christian nation? Isn't that what they want to do? I think that's what they want to do. Yeah, so that's what I'm for. Because again, you can look it up. America has 25 empty homes for every houseless person. The maths on that one, okay? No, taxation. We tax billionaires. They're not taxed right now. They've gotten tax cuts. We tax billionaires at 100%. What do you need a billionaire for? I need you to answer me this. Can anybody tell me what we need a billionaire for? And don't say they create jobs. We know what kind of jobs they create. They created this economy where people are peeing in bottles because they can't take breaks and everyone's working 2 or 3 jobs and no one can afford rent. And last election, they voted on egg. They're not good jobs. So can anybody explain to me what we need a billionaire for or a trillionaire? tax Wall Street speculation, tax unrealized gains, tax loans against unrealized gains. Okay, excellent. Once I see that I'm starting to be attacked, I understand who the bootlickers are and that they have no response to that. They can't defend their billionaires. What they do is they attack me. Do you notice that? I want everybody to notice that. If you're watching this later, go look at the live chat. When I ask them, what do billionaires do? And you can't say provide jobs because we know what kind of shitty jobs they're providing. That's why the minimum wage hasn't been raised. That's why they're fucking working 2-3 jobs. That's why the the first time homeowners went up to 50 years old, 50 fucking years old in America. Is that the American dream? That's why they were trying to put in an 80-year mortgage or a 150-year mortgage. Like, billionaires are not creating the jobs that you think. And that excuse doesn't work anymore because we've been living in this fucking dystopia for 30 fucking years while these titans of fucking whatever you want to call it just throw their money at our politicians and buy off the fucking courts and buy off the laws and buy off the fucking regulations and say carbon can now be whatever. And this is what I mean. It's like, guys, we've been trying it your way. We've been giving them tax cuts. We've been letting them run train on the fucking Congress. We've been letting the billionaires do everything. Why don't you just shut the fuck up? Stop insulting me. You're like Pam Bondi right now. Good God. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
The Dow right now is over 50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow.
Let me address the survivors.
No.
Because that's
How is the Dow? I have news. The Dow is, oh shit, this is bad news. It's under 50,000. It's under 50,000. That song doesn't work anymore. I wonder if that song will bring the valuations up of all these companies. I'm sure it will. Yeah, R units or runits. See, it's hard to read these. But yeah, the Dow is not at 50,000, guys. I hate to be a liar playing that song for you, but we can, you know what that song really does? It immortalizes a moment in history where all of us workers that, you know, maybe or maybe not will ever retire can celebrate that our retirement that maybe or maybe won't exist hit 50,000 one time. You know, that's really what that song does, is it immortalizes a moment in history where during the Epstein hearing, we celebrated the Dow. Minimum wage was destroyed 20 years ago, never to mean anything ever again. That's right, Zen. And that's a friend. I don't have much art that isn't... Okay, I have 2 pieces of art out of, I don't know, a lot. No, 3, sorry. 3 pieces of art that are actually professional artists. Most of my art is friends, family, mine. It's no name art. I like art from just little artists. Not like tiny artists, but like, you know, little creators. But Zen, what you were talking about is the minimum wage. And if you know anything about FDR, he created the minimum wage to be the wages of a decent living, not a bare subsistence level, which is, it's beyond a bare subsistence level now. That's why you see people working multiple jobs or complaining about egg or gas price. Listen, in a good economy, people aren't worrying about gas price. I know how everyone's like, gas is down 14 cents. It's like, that's the sign of a bad economy. If you're counting 14 fucking cents, guess what? Things ain't going well. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And do you know how I know what I mean? Because none of the billionaire Epstein class gives a shit about 14 cents. They made that in 0.00000 10 billion zeros one of a second. And here is the working class. MAGA or Dems aren't celebrating gas prices, but MAGA and Republicans celebrating gas prices tell me that we're not in a fucking crumbling empire. We don't celebrate gas. You celebrate like first-time home buyers or the age 19. Amazing, you know? We have the smartest people in the world. We're out testing everyone. We're innovating things. You know, you celebrate those things. You don't celebrate, you save 14 cents on gas. Does everybody understand? Are we all on the same? Am I making myself clear? Because I feel like when I see this shit on the news or people being like, yeah, but gas, I'm like, that's the sign shit ain't going well. When you're like, God damn it, I can't get to work if I can't have 14 cents off. It's like you're missing the bigger picture. Hey, what's up? Come here. Come here. Hi. Hello. Say hello. Oh, you're such a good kitty. OMG, I'm dying that you already heard that song. Most people hadn't. So you were on the pulse. OMG, join the Discord and hit us up when we're missing something like that. Ooh, hold on. Sent to Sunday. Thank you, J047. He's not 007. He was later in the J was, you know, he was about 40 numbers off of being 007, James Bond. But he's still in the running, so I appreciate that, Jay. Thank you for the gift. Jessica, what's up? Discord is dangerous. If you had any heart, you'd be stealing for a living. God bless whoever said that. Hold on, who is this person? I'm guessing they were deleted. All right. Tell me Tesla's worth $1 billion. Yeah, right. Tell me Tesla, the company that was like, we don't make cars anymore. Now we're strictly AI. They're like, what's your whole AI model? They were like, we take clothes off people. So you're a porn company? Yeah, that's totally worth $1 gazillion. These fucking people, man. Oh, sometimes you just gotta ask, how is the Dow?
Are you even?
The Dow right now is over 50 down. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow.
Let me address the survivors because that's
How is the Dow?
Yo, the guy in the background. He's a businessman, a 6-time failed businessman. Bankrupted, what, 3 casinos? Couldn't sell water to people, couldn't sell steak at Brook Brothers, couldn't even run an airline. This guy can't run a charity or a university out in New York. It's amazing that people are like, yeah, that's my guy. That's my guy to take care of the economy. I choose him. Thank you, Lisar. Thank you, Lisar. By the way, if you're new here, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I appreciate you. I'm glad you joined us. We stand up to bullies, tyrants. We're against this slop of a government that they're just doing political theater for us, where they're like, man, I'm pretty mad. You do, like Massey and Ro Khanna, I would say, are taking some action. So there are some people. But again, I don't know, I'm against, you know, like we should get a refund on our taxes that they've wasted. So if you do some dumb shit in government, we should be able to flag it and be like, all right, you get that, we take that hour back. You know, you don't get to act that stupid. Like if you're gonna act this stupid, hold on, if you're gonna act this stupid on our dime, I don't know. I feel like, you know, we shouldn't have a stupid attorney general.
The Dow right now.
If you're gonna be that stupid, I just feel like we should get a refund, you know? Instead of us doing our taxes, you give us back our taxes. I don't know, call me crazy. Works for me. All right. All right. Do I have a third? Do I have a third for that? If you're not paying for a product, you are the product. Oh my God. Speaking of that, Navaly, hold on. Did you guys see this? Did you see this video? It's so disgusting. Hold on. Whee! Look at that. The guy who bought Epstein's Zorro Ranch is running to be the next comptroller. And Turning Point, you know, Charlie Clan lost the gun debate by a long shot. Turning Point is vouching for that. And if you look up Don Huffing's son, he works in the Trump administration. This is just all different levels of pervocracy. We got to come up with a new name for this government. Pervertocracy. It's a pervoligarchy. I don't know. We got to come up with something. Oh yeah, and they're doing a rapid response force for crowd control. Excellent, excellent. Because this is some more news. People in Argentina are revolting because they're making a 12-hour workday, which, if you don't know, here in America back in the 1880s, unions fought and died for you to have the weekend. So, this is the correct reaction to that. But why did we give Argentina $40 billion? Why did we give them so much money if they have to work longer? Does anybody wonder that? Like, why? Why? Also, I think I love this. I don't think it's a haiku. I think it's the beginning of a haiku. Turn the files into trials. No, it can't be the beginning of a haiku, but appreciate it. Did you guys see this? Job hunters are so desperate, they're paying to get recruited. What part of capitalism in decline is this? Where you pay a place to pay you to work. You guys get how we're fucked, right? But yeah, keep telling me about the economy. Or what was she telling me about?
It's Clover 50 now. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P and almost 7,000. The American people need to know this.
Need to know how is the Dow.
Let me
Please
address
don't interrupt.
the survivors, because that's
How is the Dow? The guy at the end, he kills me. He kills me. And then I'm only going to show this for a second. You could read it real quick. Social Security staff assigned to phone duties raised concern over their trading. I'm not going to read it, but that's more news. So everything is going horrible here in America. How's your country doing? Have you been invaded by it yet? If so, as an American, let me apologize. The people that are running things are tyrannical. It reminds me of 1775, Battle of Lexington. Continued on to Concord, where people needed to take a stand. Now, they knew they had no chance. 77 men, militiamen, that were farmers and husbands and shoemakers. I don't know. But, they probably made candles. They took a stand against 700 British soldiers coming in. And they knew they were going to get decimated, and they did, but they took a stand, And said, we're not going to tolerate this. We're just not. And that's just our history if you're here in America. And if you're not, again, I apologize, because we have King George III mixed with like a Henry VIII. It's like a real weird monarch. It's, it's a little Habsburgish with the daughter thing. And anyways, it's just, we're sorry. We're sorry, rest of the world. We're trying. We're in the belly of the beast, so it's hard work. But Zen Ali, you had mentioned something. If you don't know what the product is, you might be the product. And here it is. This is a doctor calling to fight with insurance. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but this is infuriating.
Hi, this is Dr. Catherine Sislow. I'm calling in regards to patient. We have sent this claim several times and it's been denied.
And this I play for all the people who come in here, defend it, or say, oh, you want to wait in long lines? Guess what? We're just paying more and waiting in long lines in America. It's really to expose, and again, this is a doctor posting this, expose how insurance doesn't provide a product. They're not your health care. They're not your friend. All they do is exist to make a profit. They have no product. They just exist to make a profit. And this is a doctor recording herself saying, we've sent 3 times these claims and you've denied them. And then you get Pam Bondi-esque answers.
It's 3rd time now, and I was wondering if I could get some more information as to why it has been denied. Yeah, I can go on hold.
I can go on hold.
It's been outstanding for a long time, and I would really like to ensure appropriate coverage for my patient.
Now it says in quotes, because you can't hear them on the phone, it says, we haven't received all the required documentation, and then the doctor breaks it down.
So can you tell me what documentation was not sent?
She says,
Nothing.
we have nothing.
You saying that you have nothing?
And then she says, no, we have one document.
You have one document. You have one document. Okay, so we have put everything on a single document for you. Okay, it has the narrative, it has the X-rays, it has the intraoral photos, and the perio charting all included. So if you're seeing that part, could you? Yeah, I understand that you only have one document. Can you scroll? Yep, scroll right down. Yes, there it is. That's where the X-rays are. That's where they've been the whole time. Yeah, I know normally they come in multiple documents, but we've been having trouble with certain insurance companies losing that documentation, so we've been trying to consolidate it. Yeah, it's very helpful if you scroll down the documents.
What do I think about scorched earth? Well, you know, I'm green, so wouldn't want to hurt the environment, but no actual Christian would support ICE. 100%, 100%. Medicare for all, 100%, 100%. Seen this one? Cool. Zen Ali, looks like you've seen it too. But we need to put this stuff out there, because do you see this one? You see a note from Chuck E. Cheese? A note to our community. We're aware of a recent online commentary about our former president and CEO, David McKillips, transitioned from CEC Entertainment because Chuck E. Cheese Entertainment because he accepted a new executive role at a different company that should be announced shortly. This is coincidental and unrelated to released documents, in which is included on a forwarded email roster of speakers at a 2018 conference. If you're wondering what released documents happened lately? Well, 2 weeks ago there was, that's right, Epstein files. This is the CEO of Chuck E. Cheese. And Chuck E. Cheese felt like they needed to come out and be like, whoa, he's not leaving because of the Epstein stuff. He naturally was taking a new role at another company that hopefully doesn't involve children. It's all of them. I gotta get the clip of Tim Pool. Tim Pool, I watch him through RM Brown. If you haven't watched RM Brown, go do it. And RM Brown's playing Tim Pool, where Tim Pool goes, see, this is the culture war happening. Elon Musk bought Twitter. Edison's bought TikTok and all your TV shows. And I'm like, Tim, literally what you're describing is a class war. None of them are involved in the culture war. They manufacture a culture war. That's what you're doing. But a class war is people of a certain class, the Epstein class, trying to manipulate everybody else to not acknowledge a class war. And I couldn't believe that people would watch Tim Pool and hear him say, all these rich people buying social media is the culture war, and like believe it. It was kind of shocking. Oh, did you guys see this? You'll like that. I don't know who made it, but they said if you charged for this, we could get rid of the national debt. I thought, yeah, I wouldn't pay though. Isn't that hilarious? A cap on capitalism, I would say an eradication of, as soon as, like even the word capitalism, it's just capitalizing off shit. Capitalizing off of necessities, things that you survive on, your labor. It's capitalizing off of everything. That's why when people are like, ooh, business friendly, it's like, no, businesses don't exist to be friendly. They don't even care about a service. And we've seen that with insurance. They don't give a shit if they have a service or not. They exist to extrapolate money from the community. And that's it. Culture war reminds me of the song, We Didn't Start the Fire. When you have so much money, you can buy anything, then you want what you can't have. And I would say that explains the Epstein files, right? Well, corporate socialism, I don't even think is corporate socialism. It's more of just corporate handouts. It's corporate welfare. Because socialism is what? Essentially a theory of the workers having the power, not needing a CEO, that the workers produce the labor, produce the wealth, and they should have part of the fruits of their labor. That's essentially what socialism is. But then you can take it into a bigger thing of redistributing wealth, where, you know, the wealth that the community has created is not just siphoned to the top, but it's used for needs in society. So it's not even like, I just struggle to really identify it as corporate socialism so much as, you know, just corporations robbing us, just taking our tax money, just getting bailouts all the time. Zen, thank you. The Supreme Court has ruled that corporations have the legal obligation to operate for the benefit of their shareholders. And I know some of you are like, well, I'm a shareholder. Yeah, but you don't understand what that says. That means doesn't matter what you're paying people, how the community's doing, doesn't matter if your workers suffer or starve. It just matters that the small group of people that could make money off of it, including the CEO, because they're usually paid in compensation packages, which becomes a shareholder package, that they're profiting the most. It doesn't matter if you degrade your product. It doesn't matter if you fight for deregulation so you can poison the water in the community and those people can't even buy your product because they're all poisoned. It does not matter. The only thing at the end of the day matters is that you meet Wall Street's expectations for the shareholders. Use worker co-ops. I love worker co-ops, yeah. Oh, hold on. Someone said you are cooked. Why, thank you. Thank you. I get a clip for that if this stupid thing would work once in a while. Where is it?
Your brain's cooked.
I love when I explain like the workers should be doing better and people are like, you're cooked, man. What are you, a fucking billionaire on YouTube right now? Get the fuck out of here. Well, that would make sense. Billionaires don't work, so. Yes, IFBB Pro, yo. Let's not forget that they're worried about falling birth rates because the system needs batteries and we, the people, need to feed into the national debt. Listen, what's his name? Elon, illegal immigrant Musk, because he came here illegally and stayed illegally. Nobody call ICE on, you know. But Elon Musk was tweeting today these fucking things about being a father and family things. And it's like, is this the same dude who was emailing Epstein on Christmas morning? You know, talking about how important family is. Is this the same dude where Grimes had to reach out to him on Twitter because he was ignoring her urgent calls about a medical emergency for their kid? You know, it's all a facade. It's all to fucking make you think, ooh, if I just work hard enough, they'll pat me on the head. They won't. Read the Epstein files. They'll do much worse. Also, a large labor pool makes it easier to exploit labor as long as the labor is divided. As long as the labor is divided. Just a memer. I'm not reading that, but funny. And yes, Travis, the same person who disowned his trans daughter, which I must say, Vivian is a fucking treasure. I've watched her interview with Hassan. I've seen some of her posts. It's... Never mind hearing what she went through with her dad, but to watch that guy blatantly be botted into the algorithm to be boosted about his family values, and then to watch him disown his daughter, who is a brilliant, empathetic, fucking kind and funny, smart human being. It's one of the most disgusting things. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, as a dad, a different kind of fucking rage comes out when you're like, how dare you, you know, like you're affecting your child by doing this fucking theater right now, you know, go be a dad somewhere, get off the fucking internet. Cynicism is not a substitute for intelligence. Yeah, I don't think it is. I think America's problem is they think wealth means it's a wealth equivalency. Americans think if you're wealthy, you must be rich. And they don't understand most of these wealthy people inherited it. They're Nepo babies, like Donald Trump. But it's a good thing we're pessimistic here, right? We are ultimately revolutionary hope-filled. We are revolutionary optimists. That's what it is, optimism, not pessimism, sorry. We are we are not cynical about the future. We just need to wake enough people up, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. And once those people wake up and they're like, oh, I got duped by a pervert, you hope some of them will see the light. Not all of them will. They're meant to be cogs in the machine. That's not me, that's God. He was like, listen, you're gonna criticize me? I made some people trash bags, trash cans. I made some people vases. That's God. So some people have to be trash cans for Donald Trump's dirty tissues. And we see one Pam Bondi, what was she singing about? What was she singing about? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
The Dow right now is over 50 down. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow.
Let me address the survivors because that's
How is the Dow.
Yo, it's so good. It's so good. Wealth tax needed. Really? Come here. Don't mind the dog. She's not gonna hold on. Just to meme her. Don't mind the dog. Leave her alone. Come here. Come on. Here you go. Here you go. By the way, if you're here and you're new, please hit subscribe. It's free. I know this is shocking talk if you're used to normal American commentary. You're not used to hearing people say, like there shouldn't be hungry kids in America. We shouldn't have homeless people in America. A trillionaire should be paying, $1 trillion in taxes every year. He should be fine being a 999 millionaire. Like we shouldn't have that kind of excess of wealth, especially to illegal immigrants like Elon Musk, who is fucking not creating good jobs and being a shitty human online. Just the white supremacists overall. Link in the description to that article. We shouldn't be celebrating those people. We should be celebrating the merits on our cumulative community prosperity. Knowing that people are owning their homes, that we're building these communities, that we're working one job 3 days a week while the bosses who like to brag about how hard they work are working 7. The bosses, if you're paid the most, you should be working the most. The people paid the least should be working the least. Just common sense shit. I like Jasmine. I love Jasmine Crockett. Richest country in the world, wealthiest of literally all recorded history, and yet we have empty homes and homeless people. I'll never get it. Thank you for the comment, Luke. I'll never understand that. We throw away food and people are starving. I say it all the time. I say, go look in a dumpster, at closing time. Not only do they throw away food, but they destroy it, so they can keep the prices high in the store. They destroy it, Like we have all the solutions. And just somehow the people who could benefit off those solutions are like, not in my lifetime. I'm not gonna watch other people not starve. I don't even get what the take is. Just hate-filled little black hearts, just only feeling anything when they see someone suffer. That's probably why the Epstein files are just released and people are like, whatever, because they're like, yeah, if I was that rich I'd be acting like that too. And that's really the root of the problem in society. I'm on a mission from God, to vanquish the heathens, I feel. Anyways, found an Xbox in the middle class areas fully working. Yo, that's a good life tip. Go to the secondhand stores or the grocery stores in richer communities and you'll find some cool things. Same with dumpster diving. If they even allow that, that would probably be outlawed soon, Bezos has more lobbyists than you have senators. And not only that, Zen Ali, but if you don't know, Chuck Schumer's daughter works for Jeff Bezos. She works at Amazon. Both Chuck Schumer's daughters, I forget where the other one works. They both work at like the biggest lobbying fucking corporations in America. And I'm like, this should just not, like, that shouldn't be a thing. Like you shouldn't be able to have dinner with people that work at those companies. It's just so corrupt. None of these people work for us. It's exhausting. But people don't care, and they like the theater of politics. Trump's big, beautiful bill is the largest transfer of wealth from the poor middle class to the billionaire class. And that's what I don't get, you know? Yeah, capitalism rewards nepotism, not merit. That's how Donald Trump got everything. He just took over his dad's real estate company. He hasn't done anything. The dude hasn't done anything. I know that. I know
How
they're
many
making-
of Epstein's co-perpetrators are you
I know they're writing songs like this, but Donald Trump didn't do this.
even?
The Dow right now is over 50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow.
Let me address the survivors because that's
How is the Dow?
So good. It's so good. It's so good. People don't care because they have pushed the family unit so hard. You got a man working 6/12s, a mother caring for 3 kids. They don't have time. That's why they love the family unit. Easy to control. Good insights. Haha, post that video in your comment section. Excellent. Thank you, Weeping Angel. Everybody watch that. Everybody watch that. Yeah. I would say it's not, the family unit isn't so easy to control. That narrative has been tough for them to manipulate because everybody clearly is like, well, kids are expensive. That's why Elon Musk's mother came out and said, you just don't worry about it. You just don't worry about it. You just don't go see a movie. And it's like, no. This isn't about seeing a movie once a year. This is like, we can't afford food. Everybody voted for egg last year, you know? They didn't even vote for Donald Trump. They were just like, who's promising egg? You know, it was a pathetic fucking little squeamish fucking squeak of an election. Oh, it's so pathetic. That's how horrible both political parties are, you know? But I would say what it is these maggots, M-A-G-A-T-S, that believe, you know, you work hard and that's how you earn it. Even though in front of them, everything in front of them, like racism has structured itself with a DEI system where they're like Enrique Tarrio, Nick Fuentes, you know, they're like, we'll use those people, you know, to propagandize the others. We'll use those people. It's just amazing. There's nothing earned here. You know, you got a Fox News host on one of them, Trump's criminal lawyer in the other part of the regime. Everyone's part of the Epstein files or defending it. There's nobody that's earned their way in, you know. It's a fucking joke. The Dow. You always have people exploiting anything, social welfare, but that doesn't compare with the benefits it brings. Here's the thing. If somebody's going to say like, well, they'll exploit it, who gives a shit? You don't. I don't want to hear anybody talking about, they'll exploit it, there will be fraud. The biggest fraud committed in our country right now, in America right now, because I know, Jan, you're not in our country, is like Rick Scott. He committed $1 billion Medicare fraud. It's like the rich people are committing that. And if poor people are doing it, what is it? To get a fucking extra meal? You know what I mean? Like, these people don't that's such a straw man argument. It's such a like, well, what about the people who exploit it? The only people you have to worry about exploiting these systems are the rich, as in just look at the government right now. You know what I mean? Buying pardons? Pretty sure that's exploiting it. Getting rid of the cryptocurrency fucking regulators and then running a meme coin? Like, you don't have to worry. Like, it's not the people who are like, I'm hungry that you have to worry about. It's the people who are like, I have all the money. What else do I want? I really need maybe more money. You know, the people who are like, I need $1 trillion, I would watch out for them because they're the ones that are not content at $1 billion. They're like, I need $1 trillion. All the people who are like, I'm in the Fortune 500, they're not there because they're good people. They're on a list because they have the most fake paper. Like, that's who you like. For all the people who value morality, character, ethics, fucking law and order, anything like that. Like, I want you to pay attention to what society has fucking, you know, sold you on. That Fortune 500 means what? Besides, they just got the most money, and they didn't do it fucking making homes for homeless people. They did it by exploiting people and probably making them homeless. You know what I mean? And this is like what's celebrated. You've been fucking programmed to think this. This is all bullshit propaganda. And what I would be most concerned about is the people who want to make those lists because they had the most fake paper green things. You know, like those people are concerning because they don't value anything. They just value being better than someone else by ways of fake money we fucking made up. You know, it's such a joke when people are like, yeah, but those scammers. It's like, unless you're talking about the billionaire class that are scamming everyone right now, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. If somebody's scamming to fucking make sure they're warm or eat, that's not as bad as people scamming that have all the money, that have all their needs met, that don't need anything. They're just doing it to take advantage of others, to harm others. Look at some of the people that Donald Trump has pardoned because they donated to him. These are people with victims, financial victims that now no longer have to pay, and it's costing us, the taxpayers. And if you don't believe me, Liz Oyer, the former pardon attorney, but Liz Oyer, the lawyer, which I love that that's her name, Liz Oyer, the lawyer. She does videos on this all the time. And she talked about the people he pardoned and how many people that were due restitution, that's money they needed to pay back because they scammed them, just aren't. Just look at American culture. People celebrated the Wolf of Wall Street. He's more like the fucking predator of Wall Street because he wasn't ripping off Wall Street. He was robbing penny stock fucking investors. Penny stock. He wasn't even robbing like, you know, that's a heroic story if he's like, I stole this much from a $1 billion company. I'm like, that's a hero. This guy was robbing people who were investing in penny stocks. You know what I mean? Like he's the scummiest of the fucking scum, and Fox News has him on like he's some hero, and these frat bros worship him like, yeah, look at you robbing penny stocks and not paying them back and then capitalizing on it. It's like, these are fucking garbage people. They would take your grandmother, your mother, your sister's fucking money if they could. You know, if you were dumb enough to trust them, they would take your money. And somehow you're cheering them on. It's crazy. Gary's Economics, wealth tax. Thank you, Zen. Most sane people who get rich usually give back to the community. Yeah. Well, again, this isn't even about being rich, having money. This is strictly greed. That's my whole point. Like the people that are getting on these lists, they're not driven by anything besides greed, a thing they can't satiate within themselves because their dad didn't hug them, or you know, a girl didn't date them, or still won't. This is just greed. It's a hole in their heart that can never be fucking satiated or filled. So money's irrelevant. It's literally in the Epstein files. I have to have the birthday card. Hold on. It's literally the poem that Donald Trump wrote to Jeff Epstein. It's literally the poem. Where is it? I gotta have it somewhere. Where is it? Hold on, give me a second. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. There must be more to life than having everything. Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is, nor will I, since I also know what it is. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Yes, we do, come to think of it. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday. May every day be another wonderful secret. The poem Donald Trump writes to him says, there must be more to life than having everything. This summarizes politicians, the Epstein files, the problems with society, is that people really can't comprehend how much $1 billion is. That's why I say, like, you have to be okay being a 999 millionaire because no good comes after. It's like your parents used to say, after 11 o'clock, if you're not home, no good comes after 11 o'clock. That's just fights and fucking and, you know, messy makeup. And, you know, after 11 o'clock, after midnight, nothing good's happening, okay? Or the craziest shit in the world is happening, which sometimes, but anyway, you get what I'm saying, right? It's the same thing with this. Like after $1 billion, like look at who's in the Epstein files. It's no one making minimum wage. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Unless you're counting the victims. You know what I mean though? You know what I mean? So this is what I'm talking about. It's greed. Has nothing to, money is irrelevant at this point. The only reason we talk about billionaires is because to get to be a billionaire and to be like, not enough. I need a meme coin. Like something seriously has to be mentally wrong with you. And that's not a joke. Just look at Donald Trump, you know? Nobody can say like he's a mentally stable genius. I know he said it. I know he said it. And no one would vouch for that, not under threat of duress. You know what I mean? Like, this is just not a normal thing. Same with Elon Musk. You couldn't look at him and not see the hypocrisy in every fucking move he makes, how desperately he wants to be liked, how fucking pathetic he is on every occasion, how everything he does, you know, it's the same thing with all these people. It's always the best, they're always the greatest, they're never wrong, they never have to take accountability, and it's just more and more and more and more and more, and it's poisoned our societies. When I talk about wealth tax, that's, you know, that's what we're talking about. We're keeping them from doing some bad. Oh, so hold on. Steffelson, thank you for the 99-cent super chat. I am supported by viewers like you. Steffelson, you are a huge support. We're going to figure out something special for you, Steffelson. For real. I was thinking about that yesterday. Got to figure out something special. Because I really do appreciate you supporting the channel because, you know, this isn't, it's not always advertiser friendly. And I do want to play things in its entirety, whether or not it's the government. That's the craziest part. It's like you can't even play the government's own goddamn words on here. That's so nuts. We have such a fucking debaucherous government that like you can't even report on the news anymore. You can't even comment on the news. Enron. Oh, who said it? Enron. Smoke some more pot. You mean medicine? I don't, but thank you for the suggestion. I would say anybody that it helps ease the pain, do it. I will smoke some more, but there we go, one-eyed dollar. Thank you. Thank you for taking that one for me. Greed is never satisfied. There we go, the other tings. Free society where the worker owns the means of production, 100%. Hey, 3Dog420, you just made it. Somebody was yelling about smoking more pot. Good to see you, good to see you. Neither party is fully right, so we have a huge problem. I would say both parties are wasting our goddamn money. You know, if these, let me just say this. If these Epstein files came out and this poem was from Barack Obama to Jeff Epstein, you don't think he would be in prison by now? This is how racist our country is. Like if this was, you know, a bunch of black folks or Muslims or Mexican people, you know what I mean? It's like, if this was middle America even, I would just say if this was working class people, you think there would be no investigations? America, your racism is showing. America, your racism is showing. You know what I mean? I thought the government wouldn't copy strike. I'm pretty sure because it's PBS and Fox. No, I don't mean copyright. I mean YouTube demonetizes it because of the thing. Because of what this is what I mean. We're such a debaucherous government because of the content of the government right now is so heinous that it's hard to even report on. I just want everyone to live a comfortable life with the care one needs for some work-life balance. No greedy fucks trying to get you in debt every which way possible. 100%. Why is that? What do you hear what Sir John said? Why is that so hard for some people to wrap their mind around? It's like if you say that, they immediately think you're taking my home and my comfort. And it's like, do you not hear yourself included in that? Like, we want you to not have to worry about medical debt. You to be able to, if let's say you're like, I really want to become an engineer, but I can't afford the debt, so I'll just go work at Chili's. We don't want that. We need engineers. Why wouldn't we? This is what I don't get. If we want the smartest people and the best economy, why wouldn't we unlock access to education? So that way the people who want to pursue certain things can. You know what I mean? It's like how Cuba has a better fucking doctor ratio than America does. Because they unlocked the secret, not making people go into debt. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to who are doing a job and then they reveal like, I'm actually a fucking trained whatever, you know, or I graduated with a PhD in this. And I'm like, why are you doing that? And they're like, because I couldn't afford to. So crazy. It's fucking nuts. What's up, Tia? Good to see you. Good to see you. I think both parties paid by people. They of course have differences. You can't do controlled opposition without differences. That's what the Democrats are. Just controlled opposition. I've always said, you vote for all Democrats, you're not getting universal health care. It don't matter. You know what? Listen, I've been long enough to understand that the government has a patent for cannabis being a medicinal use medicine. It's still a Schedule 1 drug right next to heroin. Okay? I've heard Democrats forever, not forever, but for a long time say, we're going to decriminalize, we're going to legalize. And it's never happened. It's a carrot at the end of a string. And as soon as you understand that, you'll start to realize that when institutions fail, which these have, you don't reform them, you replace them. It's all money related. Jesus, the Son of God. Yeah. But if you believe that Jesus is the Son of God, then you have to see the misfortune and malfeasance of the ways of the American experiment right now. Especially when we're talking about the Epstein files, and these people start singing like this.
The Dow right now is over 50 now. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow.
Let me address the survivors because that's
How is the Dow.
Fucking love that. I can't get enough of that song. I'm so sorry. There's two parties, so people keep fighting with each other and don't see what greedy billionaires are doing. Official Chris 18. I believe that you can fly. I believe that you got the right answer. Israel has free healthcare from U.S. tax dollars. That's true. And can we not do that unless we get it first? You know, if we get it first and then they have our leftover healthcare, fine. But bitch, bitch, don't get me started. We need more than two parties. I say no more Democrats and Republicrats. I say if you're going to run, you have to be under 55. You have to have the median wealth of the area you're coming from. You cannot take corporate money. We use our tax money to fund these things. And like FDR, Calvin Coolidge, you have to take a train across the country. No more private jets. You have to take a train and you have to stop in every fucking city and do a train tour. You walk to the back of the train from the locomotive and you're like, hello, my name is this. I come from that town, you know, and we make it real basic and a slog. So you won those votes, you know, so people can fucking sniff you out before, you know, not just TV ads or algorithm pumping or whatever Elon Musk was manipulating with, you know, the algorithms. Sounds good. Thank you, Lindy. Thank you. It's over 50. Is it? No. Let me check. No. Hold on. No. 49.5.93. Oh, wait. What time is it? Oh, it's closed. So we're at 49, guys. It is not over 50,000 yet. So I guess we can talk about the Epstein files? Why is the right so afraid of everything? There's a biological reason for that. Neuroscientists ran multiple peer-reviewed studies and they scanned the brains of thousands of people to see if there was. Well, Tia, I saw Steve Bannon say, we're going to target the incels because they're the easily manipulated bunch of the lot. To see if there was a correlation between the brain scans and political affiliation. What they found was wild. Conservatives had a larger, more reactive amygdala. That's a fear center. Oh, I did read this to you. Where basically they're like Grug from the Croods, and they're just always in fear mode. Things like fear, anxiety, and rage. Liberals show more activity in the anterior cingulate cortex, the part of the brain that handles complexity and critical thinking. Go figure. Love you, Tia. Always coming in here with the fire. Holy. Boomers need to step aside. Who said that? Depth Nose? Yeah. I would say boomers and any Gen X that fucking has boomer traits, get out of the way. Fucking we're run by 80-year-olds. This is ridiculous. Now, these tests were so accurate the scientists were able to guess a person's political affiliation 82% of the time. Oh my God. Independent studies across different countries published in journals like Nature, Neuroscience, and Current Biology. This is empirical scientific evidence, not opinion. Conservative brains run on fear. Ooh, we should make a Duncan parody where it says conservative brains run on fear. Liberal brains run on curiosity. The amygdala's job is simple: detect threats and freak the fuck out. When the amygdala is oversensitive, everything new feels like danger. Foreigners moving in to your neighborhood, threat. Spanish guy on the Super Bowl stage, threat. Being chill and not rage watching Newsmax, threat. Not because it's a threat, but because the amygdala manufactures a threat. That's brilliant. And when you think about it, listen, they're scared of books. They're scared of the green M&M, Dr. Seuss, Spanish, Bad Bunny. What else? The Dow being under 50 thou.
Are you even?
The Dow right now is over 50 thou. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7 thou. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow.
Let me address the survivors.
She's singing.
Because that's
How is the Dow?
That's such great info. Hey, what's up, Travis? You haven't heard that song? This is a good one. That's the song of the summer. What's the story behind the green M&M? Okay, Tucker Carlson went and did a huge tirade on Fox News that the green M&M was unsexualized, I guess that's how we'll call it. Instead of having those glasses and the high heels, they made her, I think, take off the glasses and just wear flats. And I'm not kidding. That was it. Eminem said they were changing, and Tucker Carlson had what would we call it? Because it was like a theatrical, it was like a staged, what do they call it? The fake outrage. But we got to come up with a bit, because it's not just fake outrage. It's like theatrical outrage to embolden their base to feel like woke is taking over. You know, if a green M&M can't be sexy. They also did it with the new Space Jam. If you don't remember, with Looney Tunes, the new LeBron Space Jam, they made Babs Rabbit. What is the adult female rabbit's name? Hold on. Wait. What would I say? Space Jam characters? Space Jam characters? Lola. That was the other one. Can you show the birthday cake drawing? I don't know if I have that one. Hold on. I might have deleted that one only because that one definitely... Okay, I have it. I'm doing it because Steffelson supports the channel and I don't run off of ad money. This is strictly because you, the viewer, support. Thank you, Steffelson. Here's the cake that, if you can't see, it says Jeffrey's Girl. This is a birthday cake. And then coincidentally, I don't know, those kind of... You know what I mean? It's weird. It's a weird thing. But so just so you know, the other culture war thing they freaked out about was they made Lola Bunny not as curvy. And these were like real things Fox News was complaining to the base, firing them up, saying, you know, everyone's so politically correct. Woke is ruining this, which that's not woke. You know what I mean? But they do that, and then people think their savior is Donald Trump, who's like, I'd grape that bunny, whatever. Is she my daughter? You know, and they're like, that's the guy, that's our family values. I still don't understand how these people can't hear the hypocrisy in themselves. They're like, we're family values, but we want sexualized cartoons and M&Ms. But we're the family values, and we don't want Bad Bunny to shake his hips. I just can't understand how these people can say all these things and not be like, wow, I'm an idiot. You know? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Having a hard time. Sizzle Moon Song, thank you. Like, thumbs up, and subscribe. Listen, the best way to support the channel, hit subscribe, hit like, share this with your friends. If you know somebody who's maybe on the fence, or they talk about don't tax the wealthy, they make the jobs that we hate, you know, like, send them here, share this with them. We got to build this community out. So, you know, maybe we'll just have a virtual government and this will be it. And we'll be like, all in favor, put a 1 in the chat. I mean, fuck it, why not? You know, these people don't work and they take summer vacations and winter break. We should just do it virtual, and we'll do it more than they do. Just a meme, Trump is the most corrupt and incompetent president of all time. Try to keep up. He is. He is. When people do that, they're just not being, you know, honest or genuine. Crazy. Boob cake on its own is fun and silly because who doesn't like people's cakes on occasion? Issue is eating a half-baked cake. So I don't know the point you're making, but if I don't want people to talk about the debt like they care about the debt. That facade is gone. You know what I mean? Like, here's the other thing I don't like to do. I don't like to get into the nitty gritty of some people being like, but what about the national debt? The thing that's made up that they use to lord over you, like if you don't vote for us, that national debt's gonna explode. And then within a year, they're like, we're setting records on debt, bitch. Oh, what are we gonna do to fight that debt? We're going to not tax the richest people, so all you workers can pay for it. It's like, this is, it's just like when they're like, we care about legal immigration. It's like, you don't even care about, legally holding the people in the Epstein files responsible or accountable or investigating them. But yeah, it's the immigration part that's really, what kind of immigrants are you after? Ooh, the ones that do those weird crimes? What about these ones? I think we need to move on from that and be like, listen, you just don't care about it. Let's get to the nitty gritty of this. Are we going to hold you motherfucking tyrannical people accountable for this shit? Are we going to give some people housing and healthcare and food and make sure that, just not one guy's running meme coins all day? Neither side cares. They'll tell you debt is good. Fuck it. Yep. No side cares. The only thing they use to make you care about the debt is as like a frightening thing. Like, ooh, you don't want that debt going up. And it's like, why? It's not my fucking debt. You guys are doing all the shit. I don't own anything in this economy. Like, this is not mine. Sorry, I don't care. Fucking China, sell all our bonds. Like, who cares? That's the other thing I want people to really grasp. My whole narrative is, oh, you're saying the system's going to collapse, the one where I can't afford to use my healthcare, fucking insurance takes my money out before taxes, most of my paycheck, which I'm not even left to be able to afford my copays. You're saying that system might collapse? I don't know. I'm not really invested in it. That's my whole take. And I'm trying to get that out to more people because as soon as enough people understand that, like, you're not really invested in this, they've convinced you are. But the thing is, it's like, you're not. You're not. And even if you're like, well, I own a home, good luck from them taking it from you. We'll fucking band together as a community and we'll all defend your home. You know what I mean? That's the kind of society I'm looking for. Where it's like, not just rich people like, get out because you couldn't pay. No, the banks couldn't pay. You bailed them out. Didn't you? They couldn't pay and you bailed them. So no, we keep this shit. Fuck you. I refuse to buy into this narrative. So, that's where I stand. Yeah, it turns out trillionaires would literally eat dirt if it was taboo for the poor to do. Dusty, that's something else that we really need to capitalize on. We really do. We should be like, you guys totally shouldn't be drinking that poison water that the Tesla factory poisoned. That's for us poors. And just see if they'll do it. Because they have opposition disease. Billionaires are billionaires because they're very talented exploiters. Well, I mean, look at Donald Trump. He convinced people that he made his own money, Like, they are grift maxing, as the kids like to call everything maxing. Grift maxing. Infinity Rose. Love that argument. It's not really an argument. It's just a take, I'm like, so wait, you're telling me the system that has abused, exploited, I've watched good friends and family members die because they couldn't get access to the things they need that, in decent fucking society, people would be like, oh no, people shouldn't die over something as dumb as that. You're telling me that system is going to collapse? Oh no, what shall we ever do? Maybe rebuild from the ashes? I'm like, well, let's rebuild from the ashes. Let's do it all over where these people aren't running shit. You know what I mean? Like, let me just remind you, who's running stuff right now? Just in case you forgot, this fucking creep. That's him with the porn star, your family values man who married 3 wives, cheated on all of them, including the whore in the White House, the Slovenian whore. He cheated on her with her friend Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels is in this documentary too. I shared it in my post. This guy, a almost 50-year-old talking to, I don't know how old she is, definitely not 19. You know what I mean? Like, this is where I'm like, let it collapse. I don't know. Let it collapse. AIG was an insurance company that got a bailout too. They eat Trump's on a daily basis. They do. Literally too. He's probably doing it while their mouth is open, you know. Selling irrigated. All right, guys. That's it for today. I think I covered everything. I think I did. Did I? Let me see. Was there anything I missed?
The Dow right now is over 50 pounds. I don't know why you're laughing. That's what we should be talking about. The Dow right now. S&P at almost 7,000. The American people need to know this. Need to know how is the Dow.
Let me address the survivors because that's
How is the Dow.
The guy at the end kills me. The song rules. It does. How is the Dow? All right. See ya. Love ya. Love you guys. Nice thing my dog wants to go out. Oh, good. Perfect timing. Jessica, Zen Ali, peace, love, pursuit of happiness. Everybody, I want you to pursue happiness today, okay? No matter where you are in the world, pursue happiness. Life, liberty, and pursue that happiness, okay? Dusty, Edward, Zen, Alia, Josh, liquor in front. I get that. God, what is that? Presidential language? Tia. 8971 DS 007. Cage was hanging out. What's up, Cage? Little D and NYG. And NJ, the Dirty Jers. Sarjon. Yeah, I'm going to go smoke weed and watch TV. Awesome. Amazing. That is pursuing happiness. See, and you know what? You'll never get on this channel. You'll never get anybody shitting on that. Because if that's you pursuing happiness, God bless you, man. You know, we got a trillionaire bragging about playing video games all day long when it turns out he was hiring. He was exploiting a real video gamer, you know? Like, that's the people who we should be mad at, not the people who are pursuing that happiness. No, I didn't turn on my communities tabs. I got to do stuff on my, I never am on a computer, so I got to look at what that stuff is. YouTube keeps asking me to do stuff. Do you want sponsors? I'm like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm sponsored by viewers like you. I didn't hear about the green M&M thing. Oh yeah, I'm deep in the weeds of the internet. So like and subscribe, hit the bell notification, click it all so you don't miss any content. Thank you, Sizzle Moon Song. Love that fucking name too, by the way. Love this channel. Thank you, Robin. So make sure you hit subscribe. We're trying to build, and the algorithm isn't friendly to this kind of content. Why? Because they want to keep the narrative for themselves. When you start saying, I reject that bullshit, like Ben Shapiro, debate me, bro. You know what I mean? So I could just go, I reject your whole narrative. You tell me why your fucking beliefs say we shouldn't feed people. He's just a fucking herb. That's it. I'm just tired of these herbs out there, so I got to make my voice heard. And the only way we build up is with community. Hopefully I'm speaking your language, and if I am, then yes, please hit subscribe and notification bell. Much love. Peace. That shit will rob you of your ambition. Not if your ambition is to get high and watch TV. Amen.